For the honor, for the glory, horsepower and steel unite. These are the Knights of Thunder. This season, the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series will conquer dirt tracks across the land. On every battlefield, there is a winner. To the bravest and the fastest go all the spoils. See the heroics, feel the power, hear the thunder. The Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. Let the battle begin. Welcome, race fans, to Humberstone Speedway here on G-Force TV for a night of sprint cars and stock cars. My name's Greg Kelman. With me is Adam Ross. Joining us trackside tonight will be Clinton Jeffrey. And Adam, coming into tonight, there is a big story about 5 divisions here competing, but I think the even bigger story is how beautiful this racing track is here tonight, the racing surface, and all the upgrades that Terry Vincent's staff have done here at Humberstone Speedway.
The place looks phenomenal. What that new guardrail has done, did it narrow the track a little bit? Absolutely. Did it make it better? In my opinion, it made it twice as good. The excitement we've seen, the battles we've watched on this racetrack, and man, oh man, 5 divisions packed full of race cars on tonight's card. It's going to be a fantastic show. Yeah, we've got the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars, the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. The Dirt Sportsman are competing tonight, 50 laps the distance for them with $1,500 on the line, along with street stocks and mini stocks. So we're going to see kind of a bit of everything here tonight. Well, that's the plan. It is jam-packed with divisions. Every division has plenty of cars. We know in the crate feature there's more than in the crate division, there's more than a full field of 24 cars. We'll see what they decide to do with the 2 additional drivers here, if they add them to the show or if they do run a B main. Lots to stay on top of tonight, Greg. But first and foremost, this is horsepower weather. These 360 sprint cars are going to eat tonight.
And the track's very tacky as well, so there's going to be a lot of high horsepower racing here at Humberstone Speedway tonight. When we return, we'll be going green flag racing from Humberstone Speedway here on G-Force TV.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Foam keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back live to Humberstone Speedway on G-Force TV. Tonight, the Pinty's Knights of Thunder will headline all the divisions racing here tonight. And with our track report to check things out down there, Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Greg. Over here on the backstretch, they've done a lot of work to the entire surface, but up here you can see Mother Nature rained a bit last night, but the track has come in good. There's a lot of tack in here. They are going to lay down some super fast times here in time trials. I'm expecting this track to be perfect all night. If you saw the 360 sprint cars, they were absolutely flying out here, but the track crew have done a marvelous job here this afternoon, guys, and we're getting set for Sportsman time trials. It's going to be awesome. I think the track is going to hold up fantastic here tonight, guys.
Thanks very much, Clint. And yeah, Sportsman lined up over. Now, if you've never been to Humberstone Speedway, over off of corner number 2, they have something similar to Oshwegan Speedway with the warm-up roundabout over there where they can push off sprint cars and line up upcoming races. And tonight, with the pits being so jam-packed, they need that extra acreage over there.
Yeah, they built that warm-up track off of turn 2, and they also changed the flow of traffic a little bit in the pits, where everything is supposed to go clockwise. Where before you'd have cars converging on each other, they've got an organized layout. You know who's not following that organized layout at times, Greg?
Who?
Drivers that have raced here for 30 or 40 years. What do you mean change? We don't do change.
So Sportsman, they are running the Western Region Dirt Car Sportsman Series event here tonight. There'll be another one tomorrow night at Merrittville Speedway. So timed hot laps on the track right now for the Dirt Sportsman, and there is a huge turnout of cars here tonight. In fact, we've got some outsiders visiting here this evening.
I love that. What's the difference between time practice and group time trials?
Sorry, I believe this is actually group time trials. I just misspoke.
Wait, which is
there.
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. They will do, I believe it's 4 cars max for these.
Just because you worded it that way, it made me think maybe there's something I missed. James Michael Friesen, the quickest so far with a 16.061, but Brad Rouse a 15.908 in that white number 18.
Talk about some hot shoes in that first group with Brad Rouse, James Michael Friesen, and Cody McPherson all in this first group to take time. Terry Smith also out there in the 22. Next group of cars will work their way out onto the speedway, onto the back stretch. Luke Carlton out there. Now there are a pair of 74s tonight, so I'm not sure if this is David Flanagan or Tyler Vanderson.
We're going to know pretty quickly as the green flies. They're about to go past the timing stripe. That's Tyler Vanderson and Flanagan. Stop, you're both right.
Oh, okay, there we go. John Babian out there in the 62 as well, as we see Babian on screen right now. The LeMays meet 62.
So David Flanagan is in the white 74, but Tyler Vanderson is in the white 74.
Okay.
You weren't listening. You didn't listen at all. I said one's in the white 74, but the other's in the white 74.
Well,
you just said okay.
All I heard was the second white 74. I was sorry.
See, you're
I didn't
fooling,
hear the. You're right. I
fooling
didn't
the
hear
fans.
the first one.
If you don't listen, don't pretend like you listened. You want an old married couple? I will.
There's one on screen. Who is that?
Vanderson.
Now,
in the two-tone black and white. I made a funny, right? Because normally you are pretty quick. I wouldn't pull that kind of stuff.
I wasn't
on
listening. I was
Jeffrey.
busy reading something. Okay. You know how you're sitting at home and your wife's talking and you just hear blah 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 blah. That's what I hear when you're talking. While I'm on my phone.
I never sit at home and think of my wife going blah blah blah.
Yeah, right.
Because she speaks in tones so loud that you can't possibly deny them. Oh dear. Jordan Costco in the 17C, the first to take the white flag, a lap of 16.387. Jeff Pinty a few tenths slower, a 16.648. Matt Sharp a few tenths slower still with a 17.059. This is group number 2. They will make up qualifying heat number 2 a little later in the program. Costco goes quicker, a 16.161. Jeff Benante loses some speed, and Matt Sharp with a nice pickup to a 16.716 in that white number 5.
Not the other white number 5.
Just to prove I see what you did there.
So a little different for those that watch on GeForce TV and may tune into our APC broadcast. They do group qualifying as well, but it's qualifying the entire group here tonight because there are qualifying heats. They break it down, as you already mentioned, into the different qualifying heats. So this is the back half of heat number 2 that are qualifying right now to set the lineup. And one of our visitors here tonight, Jessica Power from all the way down in Kingston, Ontario, joining us tonight.
Always good to see Jessica show up at the racetrack. So if you happen to be a fan of female race car drivers, I strongly suggest you hitch your wagon to the 52 with Jessica Power. She is an experienced race car driver, knows how to get it done.
Greg Pinty out there, along with the mongrel Jay Mallory. We see him right now in the 20 machine across the line to take the checkers. Pinty, though, so far the quickest.
Mallory got up to third quick, then Jessica Power knocked him down a notch. Jessica in that third spot, so Greg Pinty the quickest with a 16.1. Jordan Costco second with a little slower 16.1. Then Jessica Power in the 52. The 1F for Ryan Ferry. Jay Mallory, Jeff Pinty, Matt Sharp, and Tony Cowell did not make it out.
So looks like we should see 2 more groups come out, Group 3A and 3B. And Daniel McCabe will lead the way in the Home Hardware number 13M. I believe that's Noah Mamo in the 3.
Yep, that's the Mamo number 3. Adam Leslie in the 15 machine. Local driver from just down the road. Then we've got the 77 of Greg Brinklow, actually the 707. Noah Mamo with the quickest lap. Adam Leslie second quick. Greg Brinklow had his problems in the 707 in turn 2. Last time a little bit better, but he gets up towards the cushion again. But this time keeps it in the ballpark.
And Adam Leslie goes to the top of the chart, 16.016 over Noah Mamo, Daniel McKay, and Greg Brinklow. So one more group 3B on the way out to the racetrack. And then we'll get to go green flag racing for the mini stocks in their first qualifying heat of the night.
Thanks so much, folks, for coming out or tuning in on a beautiful Friday evening down in the Niagara Horseshoe.
Justin Sharp will be the first to see the green flag in this group in the Blue Moon Potatoes 8S. Billy Bleach Jr. out there in the 108 and Curtis Friesen in the 68.
Hang on to it, Curtis. Right up on the rim in that red 68 goes Curtis Friesen, keeps it on the racetrack. Where's Justin Sharp going to fall in? Third.
Whoa!
Third quick for Justin Sharp as Curtis Friesen kept it in the ballpark in 1 and 2, down in 3 and 4. Went out to cut some hay.
So that puts us under the caution. I believe they'll still get another lap for the 8S and the 108 as we see great aerial shot there of Curtis Friesen. Right on the brink.
He finds reverse. That track worker is going to be thankful the truck pulled out over there. He went for a long run to get up there.
No, he's going to drive away without him.
Some friend.
All right, so safety vehicles off the track, and Justin Sharp and Billy Bleach Jr. will get another crack at it, as will Curtis Friesen by the looks of it. I wondered if maybe something had broke on the car to send him over there, but give it another whirl.
This will be a one-lap session at this point. Justin Sharp going to trip the timer along with Billy Bleach Jr. Bleach actually went quicker up to P2 on the lap he ran earlier. Stumbled over my words there. Curtis Friesen comes across the line, 5th quick. Justin Sharp fourth. Billy Bleach second.
Reasons final time picks up a bit of time, moves up to fourth. Fastest in that group over Justin Sharp. So Adam Leslie out of Group 3A and 3B, the quickest overall. As now we get ready for qualifying heats for the mini stocks. Looks like quite a few over there lined up.
Some of them are push trucks.
Not those ones. Yes, I know. I see the Nitro one, but
I'd love to see the Nitro 54 push truck roll out. One of those sidekicks, if it started to roll, it might not stop.
they're fun. All right, drivers getting the call to make it out onto the racetrack. There they are, all lined up.
There's Derek Smith in the background. He lives in that little red car.
Yes, he does. That thing has to have 1,000,000 miles on it, and they're all from one racetrack to the next.
You got it. I wonder how many pair of shoes he goes through in a year.
All right, looks like Rob Hoskins will line up on the pole for this one with Mike Sarantakos on the outside. Greg Vlasic in the 44. Mark Design of the 21X.
Trevor DeBoer is in the 31.
We don't have a name on the 09. And then Vincent Pagnotta back there in the 13.
And that's Austin Worstrow in the 71W.
So white flag display next time around. We'll go green flag racing. 6 laps, I believe, will be the distance here in these qualifying heats for the mini stocks.
Greg, that light has been off for about 5 minutes, yet I still feel the heat from it. Is that normal?
That's you.
All right.
It's LED. Yeah, they don't give up.
Tell that to the sweat rolling down my face on the screen.
Don't blame it on the light. Green is out, and Sarantakos will break away off the drop of the green flag. Hoskins to his inside as they go through 1 and 2 for the first time.
I love seeing Hoskins here in a mini stock. The last time he was here in a Thunder stock, the night didn't go very well, wound up on the hook. So if at first you don't succeed, bring out a punch bug.
Here comes Sarantakos to lead the first lap. And again, we don't have a name on that second place driver, 09. Actually, we don't have any names on anyone now on the race monitor.
They've all disappeared. Vlasic to the outside of Rob Hoskins. Down the back straightaway, they battle for the third spot. Mike Sarantakos trying to hang on to the lead in that white number 6.
Cross the line another time. 2 in, 4 to go in this first qualifier of the night.
You can tell there's such a difference between rear-wheel drive cars and front-wheel drive cars, Greg. Sarantakos, of course, a rear-wheel drive car out there, so we can hang the back end out just a little bit. In a front-wheel drive, they tend to push like a dump truck, and the driver keeps their foot on the throttle, and eventually it turns.
Cross flags go in the air for Sarantakos out in front over the 09. And then it's Vlasic in third. Hoskins back to fourth now. Pagnotta running in the fifth spot.
Field strung out all on the same straightaway, but a little bit of gap between all the cars out in front. Sarantakos extending his advantage as Craig Vlasic trying to close in to battle for the second spot.
He's reeling in the top two as they work off of corner number 2. Good battle back there for 4th, 5th, and 6th as now Mark Bazine has caught Vincent Pagnotta in that Burger Barn 21X.
White flag will be displayed this time. One more lap to go. Vlasic looks to the inside for third. Bazine to the inside, deeper in the field off of turn number 4, and he's got that 5th position.
Coming down to the checkered flag this time. Serentakos trying to hold on for the win. Here comes Vlasic on the outside looking for the runner-up spot. Checkers out. Serentakos will get the win over the 09. And then it's Vlasic in the 44. Fourth will go to Hoskins. Fifth to Mark Bazine as he gets around Vincent Pagnotta. And finishing that one out was Wurstro. And who'd you say was in 31 tonight? Oh, Trevor DeBoer.
Trevor DeBoer.
Second heat coming out onto the speedway. Looks like that will be it tonight for mini stocks. 2 qualifying heats as the street stocks lining up now over on the lineup track. John Lubick out there in the 14. Braden Cuse in 7. Tyler LaFont, I still want to say it.
LaFantasy?
LaFantasy, but for years we called him LaFontaise.
I think it sounds so cool. He should have considered changing the pronunciation of his name.
Race Aranzina in the 71C. Ken Hare in the 5K. Randy Alway in the 34. Nick Massey is back in the 222. Different car than what we saw him in last. Good to see Nick back racing.
Yeah, he didn't make it out though, did he? He's on the list to be at the back of this heat.
Yeah, he's up there on the outside of the front row. Well, he's there, that black 222.
Oh, there you go. I thought you called him at the back of the heat. I'm sorry.
He was in the lineup originally, but
that pace lap went really well for Nick Massey. John Lubeck out in front. Nick Massey settles into second with LaFantasy up on the outside, and that black number 96 with bright yellow numbers. He'll close in on Massey, make a move to the outside, down the back straightaway.
Massey on the inside, LaFantasy on the out, and he'll take the second spot, or at least edge ahead for the moment. Lubeck checking out on the field as your leader.
Yeah, Lubeck just driving away out there in that 14 machine. Drifts up the racetrack in turn number 2, leans on the cushion just a little bit, and powers down the back straightaway. Almost a full straightaway lead over LaFantasy.
Here comes Kenny Hare on the outside of Nick Massey now, looking for the third spot. But Cuse is on his inside. They'll race to the line where it's the cross flags, 3 and 3 to go.
LaFantasy pulling away from Nick Massey, who hangs on to third, but just barely over Ken Hare. Now Hare takes that spot. He has got a long way to go to try to catch Lubeck, and not much time to get there.
Yeah, Lubeck out in front over LaFantasy. Hare has worked his way up into the third spot, so a good run going for the driver of the 5K. Nick Massey back there in fourth. Cuse in the 5th spot. This time by leader Lubeck. We'll see the white flag.
One more time around as he continues that dominant lead over LaFantasy in the 96. Ken Harris settled into third. Everybody's stretched out in this one. He will cruise through 3 and 4 one final time. Checkered flag in the air for John Lubeck. And it'll be Tyler LaFantasy. Ken Hare coming home third. Fourth, Nick Massey going to hold on to that spot over Braden Cuse. Then it's Randy Alway, Ray Cerenzia.
And Kevin Kokorek was scheduled to come out and did not make the call on that one. So the driver of the 3K hopefully will be able to make it out for the feature later tonight. Street stocks onto the racetrack. Another good field of street stocks here this evening. And always, you and I talked off air before, Adam, about how good the racing always is in the street stock division. No matter what track we're at, all across the province, this is a very healthy division, and it's probably overall the most entertaining.
Yeah, I think it is, Greg. I mean, and we could have this discussion and this debate, what makes great racing? Is it top speed? Is it competitiveness? Is it... There's so many things that go into it. But I love watching the street stocks. Adam Plaza going to start from the inside of row number 1.
Zach Bleach lines up on the outside. Inside of row number 2 will be the 55 of Mike Thorne. And his outside will be the 21. That is Spencer Smolders out of Merlin down around South Buxton. Back to the 01 junior. That's Barry Beck there starting in the 5th spot next to Kyle Wirt. Then it's Dave Bailey, Jim Lampman, and Bryce Richardson.
Yeah, Donnie Lampman's season ended a few weeks ago, and he is off to university. And he blew the engine in his car.
Plazik out in front, Mike Thorne, Mikey Bobby following suit in that 2nd spot, and no surprise, Dave Bailey all the way up to the 3rd spot now, challenging door to door with Smolders.
There's a lot of bite out there, so Dave Bailey can run the bottom groove. You don't have to worry about momentum as much when there's that much grip in the racetrack. Just get the car turned, keep your foot on the gas as Dave Bailey closes in on Mike Thorne in that Burger Barn 55.
Off the corner they work. 8 laps will be the distance in these street stock qualifiers. Plazik out in front, Thorne feeling the heat now from Dave Bailey, and Smolders having a good solid run there in 4th.
Yeah, Smolders really looking strong. In fact, everybody closing back in like an accordion. It's smushing back together here as they work down the front straightaway. I got to say, this is about as good as I've seen Adam Plazik run.
Yeah, out in front, and there are some big names running behind him right now as Mike Thorne slipped up a little bit. That opens the door for Dave Bailey to take over the runner-up spot. So put Thorne back to 3rd, and then it's Smolders in 4th. And Jim Lampman has been steadily moving towards the front, started in the back row. Here he is challenging to the outside of Smolders.
Thorne's car won't turn. I think he's got a right front tire down.
And he finally will go slow and off the banking in corner number 2. So Mike Thorne heads pit side as Plazik now will feel the pressure from Brewster Baker. Dave Bailey with 2 laps left to go.
Bailey looks to the inside of Plazik in the middle of 1 and 2. Adam Plazik going to pull him down the back straightaway. He'll lead the way into 3 and 4. Bailey again going up to the outside of the racetrack, trying to drive down the banking and get a run to the inside.
Bailey's got the run on the inside. Well, he dukes back in behind the 41 of Plazik. Plazik slips up a little bit in corner number 2, but Bailey's right there. Looks to the outside this time through 3 and 4.
That's the beautiful thing on dirt. On pavement, someone might say, well, your spotter should have said I'm there. We don't use them here, and Adam Plazik holds on for the win with Bailey 2nd, Smolders 3rd, Jim Lampman 4th, Barry Beck coming home 5th, ahead of Kyle Wirt, Zach Bleach, Bryce Richardson, and Mike Thorne.
And credit to Dave Bailey there. He could have forced the issue and taken that lead if he really wanted, but qualifying heat, he took the smart route. And
well, and Dave also knows, just because you've got your bumper up along the inside of the driver's rear bumper, that's not position.
Yeah. 2nd qualifying heat working its way out onto the racetrack. Corey Sawyer and, well, it's going to be Go Fast Teeple going from the pole in car number 11. And I believe, is it Corey Sawyer in the primarily black 1J? It's labeled as 1J2 tonight.
That's very creative and original what they did there.
And Kevin Sharp in the 30 machine. Jason Fontaine, the Fonz back there in the 4th starting spot. Brandon Swinson in the 96. The Crazy Alien, Pete Reed in the 05 will go from the 6th spot. Ken Sargent will go from the 7th position to his outside. Rob General in the 44 and Al King in the 48 here tonight.
Where does Al King come from?
I didn't even have his name in my roster, so I'm not sure that I have that.
I'm not familiar with that car. We see a lot of racing down in this area, so that's new to me. Wow, Jason Fontaine really got a good start from the 4th position. Threads the needle, now going to battle with Go Fast Teeple for the lead.
Here they go into corner number 3. Teeple on the outside. As Fontaine works that inside line right along the guardrail, but Teeple will lead the lap.
Go Fast Teeple has had a lot of speed this year in that 11 machine, which undoubtedly is the wrap. I mean, that wrap had to be good for 0.2 of a second a lap.
Here comes Pete Reed now to the inside, the Beamsville Fish and Chips number 11, and he'll take over the second spot and set his sights on the Fonz.
The Fonz is tough to pass here. Once he gets out in front, he generally stays out front. We are under yellow.
Now I do have, for the 48, Braden King as the normal driver of the 48 from Oshwegan, so I'll say maybe Al's from Oshwegan as well.
There you go.
Crate Sprint Cars up next. The Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's will go with their qualifying heats.
I love me some sprint cars, Greg.
We had some great racing down at Brighton Speedway last Sunday night here on G-Force TV. We weren't able to be there for Saturday night, but it sounds like it was just as good a show down there the night before as well, and the fans turned out excellent crowds there at Brighton Speedway. And traditionally, that's always been a sprint car weekend, but to have both the Action Sprint Tour and the 360s on the card, great weekend at Brighton as always. Don't forget their Apple Fest weekend is coming up very soon, the 24th and 25th of September.
Always a good show down there at Brighton for Apple Fest weekend. The Brian's Auction Services Apple Fest weekend this year. Whoa, trouble in 3 and 4. Oh, that's unfortunate. Corey Sawyer makes some contact with Pete Reed. Reed goes around. He's got some left front damage. Oh, that's not Pete Reed, is it? That's the 30 of Kevin Sharp. I'm sorry.
And Brandon Swinson made hard contact with him in the 960 and has headed to the pit area as well, I do believe. Front end of that car was all crumpled up. Oh, there he is over off the banking in 2, making his way to the pits.
There has been some contentious nights here in recent weeks, Greg. Lots of drama in the pit area, lots of hard feelings. I think that's the unfortunate part about being a Sunday night track. You have the whole weekend of people getting mad at each other, and they know if they don't do something about it Sunday night, they're going to have to wait 7 whole days, 6 whole days.
Looks like we will be coming back to the green flag with 5 laps left to go in the second and final street stock qualifying heat. And the Fonz gets a great restart on Pete Reed.
The real Pete Reed is in the outside of turn number 1 with a good run. Washes up the track just a little bit, but gets the power down there in turn number 2. Look at him close that gap ever so slightly as they work down the backstretch.
Ken Sargent, he started near the back in this one. He's up in that 3rd spot, chasing the top 2 down. Brian Teeple, Go Fast Teeple right behind him in the 4th position.
Ken Sargent celebrated a feature win here earlier this season. He knows how to get it done in that black 25 as Reed all over the back end of Fontaine. He'll send it up the banking into turn 3.
Gets a run down along the guardrail, trying to draw up closer to the 1J as they work by another time by.
And man, oh man, Reed. Does that ever look good on screen when they come through 3 and 4? You see the sunset in the background. That's a beautiful shot as Reed looking to the inside. Fontaine pushed into the corner. 2 laps to go, and it's Reed with a great run, but Fontaine still leads that lap.
Here comes Reed, still working the bottom. Fontaine gets a good drive off that second corner. Now shuts the door on Reed. Reed now, I thought maybe he's going to look to the outside. Stays right there in the tire tracks with 1 lap left to go, and Ken Sargent watching these two battle it out at the front.
Reed's car won't turn into the corner. Turn 3 and 4, he's having a hell of a time getting that car rotated. Watch as he gets the nose underneath Fontaine, but he's had that car full rudder to the left to get it to turn. That was a little bit better. Side by side to the stripe, it's Fontaine over Pete Reed, Ken Sargent. Go Fast Teeple. Scott Sonnenberg in the 112. 1J2. It's Scott Sonnenberg in timing and scoring. We had Corey Sawyer behind the wheel.
That was in timing and scoring earlier as well. So,
okay.
So we'll go with that. That's our excuse.
It's time for sprint cars.
Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's, ready to go with their qualifying heats, I believe 4 in total. No, sorry, 3 heats in total, with 26 cars here this evening.
Yeah,
starting
three heats, top 6 qualify.
Top 6 qualify here tonight, starting from the pole in heat race number 1. Out of Oshweek in the Hills tire number 99. That's Josh Hill to his outside. He had a podium finish at Brighton last weekend for Mosley. The car star Brantford 3S Austin Rose. Going from the 3rd position, out of Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvement 51, Trevor Young. To his outside will be the Iceman, Johnny Miller from Six Nations. In the Styes Tree Service number 20. Going from the 5th spot, he's the current point leader with the Action Sprint Tour, and he's won every feature event except for one. He's out of right here in Port Colborne in the Maverick Real Estate Dow Auto 5D, Jacob Dykstra. Starting in the 6th position, out of Ancaster, the 7-Star Express Line 26X, that's Terry Baker. And going from 7th in the BS 29 from Waynefleet, the Sundance Pressure Washing Machine of Brett Stratford. Lining up on his outside, the 30-year-old from Sydenham, Ontario, the Draper Doors, number 9, Luke Stewart. And going from the 9th and final starting position, out of Thamesford, the Oakwood Transport 14 of Larry Gledhill.
Slowly turns number 3 and 4, getting ready for the green flag in the first qualifying heat for this Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Joshua Hill had a solid weekend last week at Brighton Speedway. 2 top 10 finishes in 2 nights there. Got to be happy with that, and here he is in the 2nd spot in this qualifying heat behind Austin Rose, who also showed a good little bit of speed last week.
Yeah, I think last Sunday night especially was a confidence booster for the 3S. Finished on the podium in the 3rd spot. He was one excited driver. You would have thought he'd won the race. That's how excited he was for that top 3. And again, carrying that confidence over. He's running out in front and distancing himself on the rest of the field.
Confidence breeds confidence as Johnny Miller loses that 3rd spot to the most confident sprint car racer in the land lately, Jacob Dykstra, with a dominant season in that 5D.
Yeah, here he comes to the inside of Joshua Hill on corner number 2, and he'll get by him down the backstretch, set his sights on leader Austin Rose. This time by, it's 4 in, 4 to go.
Look at the difference in the way Jacob Dykstra enters the corner. You see other drivers checking up just a little bit. It's like he accelerates into the turn.
Off of corner number 4, Rose will lead another time with Dykstra in the 2nd spot. Joshua Hill having a solid performance there in 3rd. Then it's Johnny Miller back there in 4th, and Brett Stratford running 5th.
The Iceman in that orange wing number 20, and then Brett Stratford with just that simple black number 39. I love the look of that race car.
This time by, it'll be 1 lap left to go for Austin Rose in the 3S. The Bobcat of Brantford machine out of the Nathan Ackland Racing Stables. He sees the white flag over Jacob Dykstra.
One more time around for Rose, a little further back. We got a great battle. 4 cars battling for that 4th position, but this one is all Rose as you work through 3 and 4. He's going to take the checkered flag in heat race number 1.
Jacob Dykstra crosses the line in 2nd. 3rd will go to Joshua Hill. At the line, 4th will go to Johnny Miller. Then it's Brett Stratford 5th, Terry Baker 6th, 7th Luke Stewart, 8th is Trevor Young, and 9th is Larry Gledhill. So Austin Rose continues the hot performances with a win here in qualifying heat race number 1 for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Heat race number 2, you see buzzing to life over there on the push-off track off of corner number 2.
They do a good job in this area. I mean, there's sprint car areas and there's non-sprint car areas, Greg, and you can tell the difference. But the local tracks, the other tracks that sprint cars have started to come to, Merrittville, Humberstone, Brighton, they all appreciate the importance of getting things rolling quickly, not to have too many delays in the program. As you can see, all the push trucks lined up on the back straight, or on the warm-up track rather, waiting to get heat number 2 pushed onto the racetrack.
And that's been a thing over the years where non-sprint car fans sometimes get a little frustrated. These cars don't have starters in them, and that can be an excuse as why they don't enjoy them as much. But tracks like Oswego and Humberstone now have these tracks where they can get them circulating before we ever get them on the track. Clint?
Guys, a quick track report here. You can see it's starting to roll up, and what that means here, it's starting to roll up, and that means it's building a cushion here, and you can see me pulling it up a bit, but it's starting to roll up a little bit. They'll continue to pack that down. We got 2 solid lanes in the middle. Well, that's your first Case IH track report. What that means, lots of moisture still in the track, guys, and Doug Leonard will work on them all night to pack that top cushion and widen this track right out.
Going from the pole, heat race number 2 out of Brand for the National Building Group 49L. That's Lucas Smith lining up on his outside from Oswego in the original Traders Energy 77E of Ashton Van Every. Going from the 3rd position, the Oakwood Transport car number 7 from Thamesford. That's Eric Gledhill, and his outside from Font Hill in the Glow and Go Tanning number 08. That will be Stephen Beckett. Starting in the 5th position, driver out of Oswego, the JR's River Bait and Tackle 77T. That's Tyler Powlis. And his outside of the Petro Plus Burger Barn, number 56, is Derek Lemaire from Hamilton. Starting in position number 7 out of Six Nations, the True North Bet Nitro 54 Variety 38 of Derek Miller. And lining up on his outside, going from the 8th spot in car number MK8 from Oswego in the Nitro 54 Variety, MK8 of Matt Hill. And starting in the 9th and final spot, in one of his rare appearances this year from Kitchener, the MSD Machine Tool 39 of Shane Stickle.
Big checkup in 3 and 4 as the field anticipating the green flag. Green flag flies Lucas Smith out in front.
Lucas Smith carrying one of those Steyer's orange wings after he had an implement tire on Saturday night at Brighton Speedway and flipped his car. He had one of the Baker Racing wings on Sunday night, and tonight he's got his numbers on that orange wing, and he's out front, pulling away from Eric Gledhill in 2nd.
It doesn't have to be pretty to be fast, as we've got one off the pace. Is that Stephen Beckett between 1 and 2, just slowly making his way towards the pit in that 08 machine.
Disappointing for him, a home track of sorts for him, being from Font Hill, and a track where he has a win in his past, so disappointing start to the night for Stephen Beckett.
Another driver coming into tonight hoping for better luck, and he got wrapped up in some problems there on lap 1 as the 8 of Matt Hill. He went all the way to Brighton for the Labor Day Classic, failed to qualify for either A main that night, so looking to get a handle on that race car and perform a little better tonight, but it's not going very well here in the early going.
Battle for 2nd place, maybe heating up a little bit as Eric Gledhill has it. Derek Lemaire trying to close the gap and move in on that number 7 machine. Out in front still Lucas Smith, but there's that battle for 2nd.
Gledhill really running that car sideways and looking for grip. Derek Lemaire keeping it very straight, good and true at the bottom of the racetrack. 2 laps to go, and Lemaire slides up and loses a bunch of ground.
Every year we see a handful of drivers that make that next step and improve greatly. This year I think that's been the year for Eric Gledhill. He's really noticeably gotten better this season.
I'd have to agree with that as the white flag comes out for Lucas Smith, and still this battle for 2nd, the best one on the track. Gledhill maintaining that advantage he picked up on the last lap, but he slides up again in turn 2. Here comes Lemaire.
Across the line off of corner number 4, Lucas Smith will pick up the win. And for the 2nd spot, Eric Gledhill will grab that away. 3rd, Derek Lemaire. 4th will go to Derek Miller. 5th at the line looks like it's going to be Ashton Van Every. Then it's Shane Stickle, Matt Hill, and Tyler Powlis, the running order at the end of heat race number 2.
Guys, I just want to jump in and talk a bit about what a turnaround for Lucas Smith. As you mentioned there, he had a horrible weekend down at Brighton. You know, after a bad crash on Saturday, ran all right Saturday, but then he got caught up in that jingle early on in the deal too. So tough break for Lucas Smith. Good to see him back out there. And yeah, I'm with you guys on the Eric Gledhill. Of all the guys I thought would be in the top 5, no offense to Eric, but he is still learning his craft. He's one of the last guys I probably would have put on paper in the top 5, but he's having a fantastic season so far, guys, and that Gledhill team is running very well for Darren Barr and Steve Barr.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with Eric and just getting smooth, and Larry himself getting things done as well in the 14. And good news, last time we saw Jesse Costa, obviously, was at Brighton Speedway. He was headed to the hospital that night. Checked things out. Nothing, from my understanding, nothing injured like before, but still sore, and he was going to take a little bit of time off. Clint?
Yeah, we just heard it, as to quote Jesse, he wedged his former fracture. They didn't find any more new breaks, but he will be out for a little bit and resting, so we want to send our best out to Jesse. If you recall, it was about 4 or 5 years ago here that he broke his back in an Action Sprint Tour event. So send our best out to the Costas, as Jesse was running so well when it happened last week as well. Get ready for heat race number 3, guys. Alan Downey leads them out.
Starting from the pole in this one from Salmon Arm, British Columbia in the 7-Star Express line, number 26, it's John Verney. And lining up alongside of him from Hamilton in the MS Road Solutions 12DD, it's Darren Dryden. Going from the 3rd position out of Rockwood, Ontario, the Radio Shuttle, Neely Auto number 74 of Rob Neely. And lining up on his outside from Brantford in the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction 48, it's Lance Erskine. Starting in position number 5, he's the only other driver to win on the Action Sprint Tour this year. He's from Mount Bridges in the Vibrant Farms Pride Seeds 45. It's Nick Sheridan. And lining up on his outside is the driver from Waterloo, the Velocity Mechanics, ILA Sports number 19D of Alan Downey. Starting in 7th spot, that's where we'll find the 50LS of Adrian Staley from Kitchener. And on his outside from Bowmanville in car number 31, Dale Curran. Again, top 6 will transfer. 8 cars, 8 laps of distance, the 3rd and final qualifying heat of the night for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's.
Great looking cars. Ran a double header last weekend. That's a grueling weekend, Greg. Long tow for most of these teams across Toronto down to Brighton. Great area this time of year. Alan Downey, he's going to start on the outside of row number 3. He finished 2nd last weekend, had a great run, but it is just so hard to contend with Jacob Dykstra this season. See if he can do one spot better here tonight, but he'll come from the 3rd row in this final heat.
Darren Dryden grabs the lead. John Verney slides up the track a little bit in front of Lance Erskine. Meanwhile, behind them, it's Sheridan getting by. Downey now sets his sights on that Verney machine as he's alongside Lance Erskine.
Lance Erskine going wheel to wheel with Nick Sheridan. A couple of youngsters out there as Sheridan will pick up that 2nd spot on John Verney. Leave Lance Erskine in 4th, Alan Downey back in 5th.
Nick made that look so easy getting by, and that was no easy feat because he was threading the needle there, getting between the car and the guardrail, which is new here at Humberstone this season.
Lance Erskine up and off the racetrack in that number 48. He will fall all the way back, almost to the tail of this field. Now we'll fall to the tail of the field. Nope. Fight fends off Adrian Staley.
So it's Darren Dryden out in front in that 12DD, beautiful looking machine. He'll work it off of corner number 4 to the cross flags over Nick Sheridan, and John Verney almost sent it over the banking in corner number 3, gathers it back up and holds on to the 4th spot.
Just in time for Dale Curran to get a great run on him. Curran had to jerk that car to the left to avoid contact there in turn number 4. That's the battle we'll watch as they work through 3 and 4.
Off the corner they come. Curran on the outside will take the position away from Verney for the moment.
Oh.
Then Verney loops it around in corner number 1. Lance Erskine trying to avoid. He was off the banking himself. They make very slight contact, and it puts us under the caution with 2 laps left. So Verney and Erskine off the banking in corners 1 and 2.
I like the thought process there for young Lance Erskine. When you have a problem like that on the racetrack, it's much easier to go straight than it is to turn the car harder to the left. It just so happened that John Verney was rolling backwards pretty quickly in that 26, so eventually he had to lock it up and spin the car sideways. Having a look at the replay here down into the corner, Verney just trying to avoid incident down there. Spins that car around. And I think that was innocent contact enough that Lance Erskine should be able to get pushed off and drive away in that Ace 1 Construction Burger Barn number 48.
John Verney rejoins the racing surface and will join the back of the pack behind Adrian Staley. Darren Dryden, the leader, over Nick Sheridan. Alan Downey there in the third spot. Dale Curran running fourth. Fifth, Rob Neely. Sixth, Adrian Staley. So seventh will be John Verney, and Lance Erskine will restart in the eighth position in this final qualifying heat for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Tomorrow night we'll be live in the air on GeForce TV from Sunset Speedway for the APC Series on round number 7 of the 2021 season. It's the second to last race of the year. A lot of points on the line in that, and make sure you tune into that.
Is it too early in the night to do a quick fire it up, you think, Greg?
No, let's do it.
Quick fire it up, where most of the feature is I shut up and so does Greg.
Big selling point.
Or you get to hear the sounds of these amazing Action Sprint Tour. Great engines, and they do wind them up. Double D, Darren Dryden going to lead them to the green flag, and then we'll go quick fire it up with Nick Sheridan at 45, applying the pressure. Dryden bringing them to green, slow and steady through turn 4.
Darren Dryden has the lead. Nick Sheridan trying to track him down to grab the win away here in the final 2 corners.
Dryden keeps it down towards the guardrail, then lets the car drift uphill. Take the checkered flag. Nick Sheridan second, Alan Downey third, Curran in fourth, Neely fifth, Staley, Verney, Lance Erskine. That's how they'll finish.
So Darren Dryden picks up the win. Nick Sheridan and Alan Downey. That concludes qualifying for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. And that means it's time to run qualifying heats for the Dirt Car Sportsman in their Western Region Tour event here tonight. First of 2 this weekend. Tomorrow night at Merrittville Speedway. Another 50-lapper and plenty of cash on the line. Tonight, 50 laps, $1,500 to win. Great field of cars here to qualify here tonight for this main event.
So the lineups for these qualifying heats were set earlier this evening when they had their group time trials. Each heat had 2 separate groups. And I believe it's a heads-up start, if I'm not mistaken, Greg, but I've been wrong before. No, this is heads up. Brad Rouse was the fastest in his group.
Yep. Brad Rouse will start on the pole in this one. James Michael Friesen to his outside. Luke Carlton on the inside row number 2. And Cody McPherson on his outside going from 4th. David Flanagan will go from the 5th position. And his outside, I believe it will be John Babian in the 62. Then the 22 of Terry Smith. And the 74X of Tyler Vandersand. Now, is that, I don't know if Clint knows or not, is that, they have it listed as Tyler Vandersand. Is that Tyler Vandersand that drove in the Thunderstocks before?
It would be Taylor Vander Zanden.
Okay, so that's completely wrong on Race Monitors. Will, if you see his name on the ticker.
Yeah, he's in the outside of the 74X.
Okay.
Taylor Vanderzanden. I got it locked in now, Greg. It is locked into my brain.
Green is out. Brad Rouse will lead them down into quarter number 1. JMF in tow. Here comes Cody McPherson right behind him in the 7.
Cody McPherson just drifted down the racetrack to cut off that bottom line, have a poke to the inside of James Michael Friesen. Out in front is Brad Rouse by about 3 car lengths at the conclusion of lap number 1.
Carlton, meanwhile, behind him will open up the door for Flanagan to slip by in the 74. As they work it off of corner number 4. Again, it's Rouse over Friesen and McPherson.
Flanagan inching up the racetrack, but Luke Carlton was there, keeping that front end to the outside of the 74. Flanagan will clear the Carlton machine, coming off of turn number 2 and hang on to that 4th spot through 3 and 4.
Another time by for Brad Rouse in that 18R. Always smooth and steady as Brad Rouse holding off James Michael Friesen right now in that 2nd position. And Cody McPherson in the lucky 7. Cross flags go in the air. 5 in, 5 to go.
Yeah, everyone's sort of spread out on the racetrack right now. And as I say that, James Michael Friesen having a look to the inside of Brad Rouse for the lead of this one. Loses the front end through 3 and 4. Loses a couple of car lengths down the front stretch.
Rouse sends it down the backstretch with Friesen in tow, McPherson right there, and then it's a big gap back to Flanagan in the 4th position. 2 more circuits around for Brad Rouse.
James Michael Friesen just blasted through the cushion in turn number 4. Really upset that Bobcat of Hamilton number 72. Cody McPherson closing the gap, and that's allowed Brad Rouse to drive away by about 6 car lengths as the white flag flies. 1 more lap to go.
3 drivers we may see battling it out for the feature win here tonight. They're all in this first qualifying heat. Rouse, Friesen, and McPherson. Here comes the 7, looking low on the JMF number 72.
One final chance in 4. He's not going to do it. Brad Rouse for the win. Friesen in 2nd. Cody McPherson 3rd. Then it's Flanagan, Carlton, Van der Zanden, Smith, and Babian. I don't know if I've mentioned it, Greg. And in fact, don't let me. What's your thought now that you've seen some races with the guardrail on the inside?
It races completely different in my mind from what I've seen over the years, especially down in corner 1, because there was such a soupy problem down in corner 1 that you couldn't even race down there. So everyone was pitching it around the outside, trying to do different things, and it raced kind of awkwardly in that sense. But tonight, man, oh man, just the way they're able to power off the corners, get into the corner, it's changed everything in my mind.
Well, guys, the big deal here was there never used to be real barriers down there, so cars would just keep cutting lower and lower and lower, and it would throw dust up. It was just a mess. So I think the guardrail has been a huge improvement to the racing here, guys, as we get set to go with qualifying heat number 2.
Greg Pinty will line up on the pole with Jordan Costco to the outside. Jessica Power from Kingston all the way making it down the highway here tonight to Port Colborne. She'll start in the 3rd spot. Ryan Ferrier on the outside of her. Then it's Jay Mallory with Jeff Pinty back there in row number 3. And then we have Matt Sharp in the 5S. And who've we got there at the tail? It's
Tony Cowell,
who I don't believe made it out for qualifying.
No, he didn't.
Green is out, and Pinty will rock it out in front over Costco.
And Jordan Costco, you could almost see it coming to the green. He wanted so badly to get to the bottom of the racetrack. Cost him some time because he's got some good aggressive drivers out there. He's going to fall back to that 4th position behind Jay Mallory. Now he's under attack from Jeff Pinty.
Greg Pinty and Jessica Power right now, 1 and 2, but here comes the mongrel, Jay Mallory, to the inside of Power, down the backstretch and into corner number 3. Power shoots ahead for a moment, but here comes Mallory fighting back in the bottom. Power will have the spot at the line.
It does get narrow there in turn number 4, but I love how smooth the arc is with that guardrail on the inside. And how smooth is Jay Mallory behind the wheel of that number 20 machine? He's been playing this game a long, long time.
Still working all over the back of the Speedy Auto Service number 52. As Cowell will go off the track in corner number 1 and head to the pit area.
I think he came from the parking lot. I didn't see him go off there.
Halfway home in this qualifying heat with Greg Pinty out in front for Jessica Powers. Now gotten a bit of breathing room from Jay Mallory. Jeff Pinty's worked from the back of the pack up to the 4th position.
Watch the line Jessica runs in 1 and 2. It's similar in 3 and 4 as the back end really came out. She'll drive in low and then let the car work all the way up the racetrack, just drifted up to the cushion, and then she'll get that forward bite down the back straightaway. But for someone who had never seen this layout of this track, racing against drivers who've raced here a number of times this season, doing a great job.
2 more circuits around for Greg Pinty. As Jessica Power continues to run in that second spot of Jay Mallory, Jeff Pinty, and then it's Jordan Costco right now making the move on Jeff Pinty for 4th.
Costco with a good run up the inside, down into 3 and 4. He'll back out a bit, then try to wedge himself between Pinty and the guardrail. Got one more lap to try to figure out this move, Greg.
Yeah, there's the battle right now. We're discussing Jeff Pinty and Jordan Costco as the checkers come out. Make that 1 to go. No, it is. Checkers come out that time by for Greg Pinty over Jessica Power, Jay Mallory, and Jeff Pinty is going to hold off Jordan Costco. Then it's Ryan Ferrier and Matt Sharp completing the running order.
Yeah, Costco committed to that bottom. He really needed to send it there into turn number 3. That's already a good learning race for Jordan Costco in that 17C.
One more qualifier to come for the Dirt Car Sportsman here in their Western Region Tour event. 50 laps will be the distance in the feature this evening. And here comes that third qualifying heat. Adam Leslie was quickest in that group time trial. I believe he's going to go from the pole here with Billy Bleach Jr. on the outside of the front row in the 108. Noah Mamo in the 3 will go from the 3rd spot. Then it's Justin Sharp, the 8S, although I think he'll be going from the 5th position. It's going to be Daniel McKay going from 4th, then Justin Sharp in the 8S in 5th.
I don't know if we're missing a car.
I think we're missing someone here. Greg Brinklow in the 707, 13M, Daniel McKay, 68 of Curtis Friesen. So it should be 7 cars. We have all 7 out there. There we go. Clear as mud. Come to the green flag. Whoa, Mamo and McKay. Little contact there.
Well, Mamo got a good push from Justin Sharp, then moved up the outside and almost got a good push from Daniel McKay. Sharpie got a great start, though, works his way up to that 2nd spot. Adam Leslie out in front, and McKay just about lost it there in 3 and 4. Did a nice job to collect that car.
Bleach really struggling with the 108, and I'm not used to seeing Bleach have this much problem right now as he's holding on to the 4th spot. He really seems to have troubles in corner number 2.
Guys, watch the 8S of Justin Sharp mid straightaway. It's throwing out sparks in a place it shouldn't be. He's not on the brakes at that point in this track, so not sure what's sparking. And there you see to get under the bottom of the 8S of Sharp. Could be a drive shaft or something clicking down there.
I hate the thought of drive shaft problems. Something looked to be glowing red inside the car. Clinton, tell me I'm crazy there.
No, I saw the same thing you did, Adam. Cross flags go in the air, 5 in, 5 to go. We'll keep our eyes on the 8S of Justin Sharp. I think that was just out of the exhaust, wasn't it?
If that's out of the exhaust is really close to the driver. Bleach closing in on that 8 of Sharp in a battle for the 2nd spot.
Oh, yeah, there we saw it. That time by on the right rear, you can see sparks coming out of the 8S, and here comes Bleach now. Has got the car going in the right direction now.
I think it might be the headers glowing on that car, but they're glowing on both sides. Clinton, what are you seeing from down there?
Everything looks all right from my perspective. The only thing I see is that 1 or 2 sparks that fly out mid straightaway that throws me off. You know, in a sprint car, you'll see the brakes sparking when they get on it, but not sure what could be wrong in the 8S. I don't see anything glowing, though, but I'm down a lot lower than you guys are.
Checkers out. Adam Leslie's going to pick up the win. The Sterling Lubricants number 15 over Justin Sharp holds on for the win. And then it's the 108 of Billy Bleach, the 68 of Curtis Friesen, the 3 of Noah Mamo, Daniel McKay in the 13M, and Greg Brinklow in the 707. That'll conclude qualifying for the Dirt Car Sportsman with Adam Leslie picking up the victory.
Yeah, nothing glowing now on the 8S at Justin Sharp, so maybe just unburnt fuel sitting in the headers, and we could...
Well, I saw the exact same thing when the 68 went by of Curtis Friesen, so I think that's what that was, but there were definitely sparks on the straightaways in the 8S coming out from both sides, and it wasn't just... You'd notice it as the car kind of settled down going into corner number 3, but here in the front straightaway, he'd cross at the start-finish line where he'd be at full song, and it was still sparking there. So definitely some concern there for the Blue Moon Potatoes 8S as we get ready for qualifying for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars Series. 3 heats in total for them tonight as well. Going from the pole in this one is the driver to Scotland, Ontario. Driving the Instapanel Sty Tree Surface 87X, it's Sean Evans. To his outside from Caister Center in the Charlie B. Honey Mudcat Entertainment Center 11, it's Jamie Turner. Starting in the 3rd spot out of Beamsville. Driving the J&E Recovery Julie Swayze Remax number 88H, it's Josh Hansen. And to his outside from Oshweek in the Nitro 54 Variety 15 of Dan Nanico. Going from spot number 5, making the haul from Picton, Ontario. Driving the Terry's Taxi, Elbrook Excavating 84, it's Tyler Rand. And to his outside from Grimsby. In the Bowens Automotive Image Factor number 90, it's Travis Cunningham. And starting in the 7th and final spot from Binbrook in the Nitro 54 Variety Creative Edge Signs and Graphics number 9, Liam Martin. 7 cars in this first qualifying heat for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. White flag displayed on the field.
Another great turnout of sprint cars here. This heat's got a mixed bag. Sean Evans in that 87 backed it into the creek last week in Brighton in practice, then came out and had a great run that night.
That he did. Very impressive for Sean Evans. Again, another one of those drivers steadily improving. As the years go on, he'll start alongside the veteran, Jamie Turner in the 11. As we come to the green flag in heat race number 1.
Sean Evans leads the way down into 1 and 2. Josh Hansen hugs that guardrail around the inside. He'll take the 2nd spot from Jamie Turner. Dan Nanicoke, that car lurched awkwardly. Looks like he's lifting the left rear tire.
Yeah, he's going to slow going into corner number 1 and gather that car up, kind of twitching it around, maybe not feeling quite comfortable for the Nitro 54 Variety number 15. Remember the last time we saw him, he was tumbling at Brighton.
Yeah, so he's having a tough start to his night. Hodge in that 15 machine sponsored by Nitro 54 Variety. At the front of the field, though, Sean Evans with the advantage. Josh Hansen closing in that 88 and picking up the 3rd spot is Tyler Rand.
Tyler Rand, other drivers had a solid season, running solidly in that number 84. Had a good run going at Brighton last weekend. As the cross flags come out, 4 in, 4 to go, and Josh Hansen's tracking down Sean Evans.
Travis Cunningham had closed in on Liam Martin in the 9, Jamie Turner in the 11, then had something go wrong there in turn number 3 and gave all that track position back. He'll try to regroup now as out in front, Sean Evans opening a bit of advantage over Josh Hansen.
Evans the leader in that Instapanels 87X. Josh Hansen running the extreme bottom, couple of different lines. 2 laps left to go for Sean Evans, who really sailed it into corner number 1, goes off the banking, and here comes Hansen. He'll drive by. Well, good job by Evans to gather it back up. They're wheel to wheel now off of 4.
Josh Hansen has to wonder, what the heck are you still doing there?
And again, Evans kind of pedals it a little hard into corner number 1, but he holds on to the top spot. Final time through 3 and 4.
Evans heads to the high side. Hansen down low. They race to the checkered flag. Evans for the win. Hansen 2nd. Tyler Rand going to come home 3rd. 4th is Jamie Turner, and hang on to it. Liam Martin rounds out the top 5. There is a rodeo in the area this weekend, but it was not supposed to be here.
That was almost the Binbrook rodeo with Liam Martin.
Well, guys, the outside cushion here is gnarly tonight. It's the first big cushion we've seen all year on the dirt. And down here in 3 and 4, it is about half a foot high. and growing. They're trying to knock it down under caution, but it is really throwing some havoc at the sprint cars, and these guys, as you mentioned, are having to cowboy up tonight.
Heat race number 2 coming to life over there on the push-off track. 6 cars in this one, another 8 laps. Good to see Mikey Krutchka back here tonight after being absent for a few events. Had a rough start to the season in Merrittville Speedway, and good to see the 01 back here tonight.
It's always a fan favorite, Mikey Krutchka in that 01 car. There's some youngsters in this one as we see them rolling out of the pits, and at least one KG veteran.
Starting on the pole in this one, he's already got a couple of wins this season in his rookie year in the 360 sprint cars. He hails from Beachville in the Castrol Edge to Groot Hill Chevrolet number 5. It's DJ Christie. Lining up on his outside from Picton, Ontario in the Jones Automotive CarQuest number 11J, it's Chris Jones. And going from third position from Niagara Falls in the Signal 88 Security EMS towing number 88, make that number 70, is Bailey Hurd. Should be number 88 with a sponsor like Signal 88.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst.
There you go. Going from fourth, good to see him back behind the wheel again here tonight from Ohsweken, the OSR Ohsweken Speedway number 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers. And going from spot number 5, St. Matthew de Belleville, Quebec, in the four-season forming mega pumping number 28, is Jordan Poirier. And starting in the 6th and final position from Hamilton, the Insta Installation Best Wave Betting 01 of Mikey Krutchka.
Those are your 6 cars for heat race number 2. All of the 360 sprint cars here in attendance tonight will qualify for the feature event, so only jockeying for redraw position basically and passing points.
Jordan Poirier starts 5th. He comes in as the point leader. The most recent winner was Sunday night at Brighton, and it was Jim Hoopinen getting the win. He notched a little bit off the point lead, but not too much, as he's chasing Jordan Poirier right now in the overall standings. DJ Christie won on the Saturday night, his 2nd win of the season. His first came at the brand new Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, where we'll be in October.
Yeah, the fastest speedway we visit this year and the slowest speedway we visit this year, and a win on each of them for DJ Christie, showing his versatility.
They creep to the green flag. Heat race number 2 comes to life with DJ Christie sprinting out in front of Chris Jones.
Man, those cars look evil going down into turn number 1. Bailey Hurd with a sniff to the inside of Chris Jones coming off at 2. Couldn't get the drive he needed. Now he falls into the clutches of Jordan Poirier in the 28.
Glenn Stiers looking racy tonight, working to the outside of the 70 of Bailey Hurd as they go down through corners 1 and 2. Jordan Poirier right against the bottom groove. The guardrail there, gets by for the 3rd spot, now sets his sights on Chris Jones.
Mikey Krutchka trying to close in on Glenn Stiers. We got a 3-car battle for 4th, a 2-car battle for 2nd, and DJ Christie out in front with control of this one.
Christie looking strong again. As the lead in the lineup, Chris Jones is trying to hold off Jordan Poirier. Here comes Poirier down to the inside of the 11J. He'll size him up and now try to shoot by on the backstretch. Jones backs out of it into 3.
Yeah, he had to spike the brakes to avoid contact there. Mikey Krutchka to the inside of Bailey Hurd. He's looking for that 4th position as we reach the halfway point in this qualifying heat race.
Here comes DJ Christie across the line another time. 3 laps left to go over Jordan Poirier. Chris Jones is now going to feel some pressure from Bailey Hurd, who's pulled away from Mikey Krutchka. Oh, but Hurd, he keeps it in.
There's that spot in turn number 2. You can ride the cushion into 1, but it disappears in turn 2. It's the opposite in 3 and 4. You can run the cushion all the way around in 3 and 4, so we'll have to rethink, back that car up to the cushion, and then ride the brake pedal to keep it from shooting off the end of the track.
White flag is out. DJ Christie continues to lead. Poirier's closing the gap. Meanwhile, Hurd around for the 3rd spot.
Nice move by Bailey Hurd as he goes back to the cushion in turns 1 and 2. Chris Jones going to pull along the inside. They'll drag race down the backstretch.
DJ Christie will pick up the win just narrowly now over Jordan Poirier. And 2nd at the line for 3rd, Bailey Hurd. Then it's Chris Jones, Mikey Krutchka, and Glenn Stiers completing the running order in heat race number 2. So Beachville, Ontario's DJ Christie continues to be hot. Picks up the win on the Castrol Edge, number 5, with Jordan Poirier breathing down his neck at the start-finish line of the end. The point leader comes home in second. An impressive run for Bailey Hurd in third. That kid's getting the hang of the 360s as well.
He really is. I mean, how exciting is it to be a sprint car fan right now, seeing the old guard still does a pretty good job out there, but the youngsters, it's undeniable. DJ Christie winning races, Bailey Hurd making passes on the outside on a tall, heavy cushion there in 3 and 4. They're here to be seen.
That they are. It's the learning curve is extremely short, it seems nowadays. And this next heat, well, it's somewhat all veterans for the most part. Holly Porter out of Delhi will start on the pole. Make that out of Dorchester in the Malcolm Mills Mill Riding, Ohsweken Speedway number 1. Jim Hoopin in second place in points, most recent winner of Brighton Speedway on Sunday night. He'll start in the second spot. He's from Fenwick in the Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse Enrium Dynamics number 14H. Going from third, from Tillsonburg, Ontario, in the Petro Plus Travel Stop Burger Bar number 13, it's Corey Turner. And lining up on his outside from Charing Cross in the ERW Contracting, Casey Cutts, number 9B, Scott Burke. Going from the 5th position from Dunnville, drive the Kingpin Farms Burger Barn, number 91, that's Ryan Turner. And lining up on his outside from St. Catharines, the Jason Enterprises Bodyline Auto Recyclers, number 46 of Kevin Pauls.
Bit of a whizzing contest there between Holly Porter and Corey Turner on the pace lap. Corey giving Holly a bit of a nudge through turn number 2, so not sure what Holly did to upset Corey, but I will tell you, Corey Turner needs a win. The Turner clan, Corey Turner, Ryan Turner, Jamie Turner, they've not yet visited Victory Lane this year, and they're chomping at the bit, Greg.
They've been there on the podium, but yeah, they have not had that win yet, and I was going to say Ryan's been closer, but Corey's been up there as well and had the chances.
I wish I knew what Holly Porter did to make Corey as angry as he got.
Corey's really mild-mannered, so it had to be something.
Well, we're going to find out pretty soon.
So it's Holly Porter, Jim Hoopin on that front row. Corey Turner, Scott Burke, row 2, Ryan Turner, and Kevin Pauls back in row number 3. Final qualifying heat of the night.
Another creeping slow pace lap as they head towards the green flag. Holly Porter down low, Hoopin up high. Holly Porter did not get a great start. And it was even worse for Corey Turner in that number 13. He had other plans, but right now he's back in the 5th spot. He's got a lot of making up to do.
I was about to say, if he was a little upset before, he's probably definitely upset now as things shake out. It's Jim Hoopin out in front over Scott Burke, who's feeling some pressure from Ryan Turner back there in 3rd.
Paul's at the back. He's lost a little bit of ground as Ryan Turner sails it down into turn number 3. He'll take over that 2nd spot. Let's see if he can close in on Hoopin. Here goes Corey Turner to the inside of Holly Porter. And he'll make that pass for the 4th spot. Set his sights on Scott Burke.
Scott Burke having a nice run right now in that 3rd position. He's newer to the sprint car scene than some of these other drivers, but doing a nice job of that number 9B as Corey Turner looks to the inside of him.
Scott Burke and Holly Porter both have a lot of wing cranked into their race cars for this early in the evening.
Halfway home in this one, 4 in, 4 to go for the Red Rocket. Jim Hoopin out in front of Ryan Turner, Corey Turner, Scott Burke, and Holly Porter.
Ryan Turner just turned a lap a half a second faster than our race leader, Jim Hoopin. It was a 14.4 last time by, a little slower this time, 14.7, but he is lightning quick.
Off the corner, 2 laps left to go for the driver that's 2nd place in the points coming into tonight, Jim Hoopin in the 14H, driver to the Glenn Stires Racing Stables. Ryan Turner, Corey Turner, 2nd and 3rd as the white flag comes out.
Loving the line Ryan Turner runs through 3 and 4 in that Kingpin Farms 91. Just puts the right rear on the cushion, keeps it there all the way around the turn, but he's not going to have time to catch up to Jim Hoopinen in the 14.
Checkered flag comes out. Jim Hoopinen picks up where he left off. Checkers in the air. Ryan Turner second. Corey Turner third. Scott Burke will finish in the 4th spot. 5th, Holly Porter. And 6th goes to Kevin Pauls. And shout out to Kevin Pauls, who's one of the newer drivers as well of 360 sprints. And what I like most about Kevin comes out there and he just keeps his nose clean. He runs consistent, solid laps. And sometimes a new driver comes out there and they're kind of all over the place. Kevin's always been nice and smooth and steady. He's not up there competing with the top drivers just yet, but Kevin does a nice job in the 46. So I thought I'd give a shout out to him for the way he drives as well.
Jason Enterprises number 46, Bodyline Auto Recyclers. And I have to agree with you there, Greg, as much as it pains me.
Happens once every couple of races.
Pretty much.
Is that a B main I see over there circulating for the Action Sprint Tour?
The only last chance race we should need tonight is the Action Sprint Tour. 6 cars qualified out of each of 3 heats, and now 6 cars going to qualify out of the B main.
And they are just about set to head out onto the racetrack. Once Kevin Pauls pulls into the pit area, that will open up the lane for the B main to head out onto the racetrack. Starting from the pole in this one, the driver out of Sydenham, Ontario, in the Draper Doors Penny Blake home team, number 9. That'll be Luke Stewart. Alongside him, the driver out of Oshweek in the Nitro 54 variety, number MK8, Matt Hill. Going from position number 3 from Salmon Arm, British Columbia, the 7-star Express Line 26 of John Verney. Starting in the 4th position from Oshweekin and the JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle 77T, Tyler Powless. Starting in 5th from Brantford, the Burger Barn, number 48, Lance Erskine. Going from the 6th spot from Thamesford, the Oakwood Transport, Fast Track Performance number 14, Larry Gledhill. Starting in position number 7 out of Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvement 51 of Trevor Young. And going from the 8th and final spot from Font Hill in the Glow and Go Tanning, 08, Stephen Beckett. Remember, Stephen had issues in his qualifying heat earlier on, and always a top competitor here at Humberstone Speedway. And I don't believe he's out here. Oh, yep, there he is. Off of corner number 4, just caught a glimpse of him there. Stephen makes a call, but we'll have to start at the tail. Now he only has to pick up a couple of spots here to make his way in to the A main.
8 cars scheduled to start. 2, 4, 6, 8 cars on the racetrack, so the bottom 2 cars will not make it to tonight's feature event. Unfortunately for them. But it does raise the bar, Greg. It keeps the bar at a certain level when you've got to be able to qualify for these races. We've talked about it before. That's mission 1. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Jacob Dykstra, who has won the majority of these races this year. Job number 1 is make sure you qualify into the field.
Yeah, there are no provisionals. It doesn't matter how many points you have, how many wins you have. You've got to race your way in. And with this many cars, tonight's maybe one of the smaller fields we've seen. We do need to be main, but with just 2 going home, a little easier task tonight, but on some nights it's very possible for a top driver to have to pack up and go home early.
It is so. We've got years worth of history to prove it. Coming to the green flag this time, and again, 6th spot is that magic position.
Luke Stewart, driver to Sydenham, Ontario, will bring us to the green flag from down in eastern Ontario. Runs at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway in the Thousand Islands RV Center Crate Sprint Car Division.
Look at the back of the field. Nobody willing to lift back there. Everything bunches up. Lance Erskine in the 4th spot. Everybody on back from him. It is a free-for-all back there. Stephen Beckett, like you said, Greg, he's won here before, and he's having to figure out a way to get himself into the show.
Matt Hill slips up a little bit. That opens the door for John Verney to take over the 2nd spot, so put Verney in position 2, but Hill fighting back at the outside.
Good battle with Trevor Young and Tyler Powless deep in the field. That black 77 and the white and blue number 51. Trevor Young working the inside down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Luke Stewart out in front over Verney, and then Hill, Lance Erskine, Tyler Powless having a good run right now. Trevor Young, and then it's Stephen Beckett and Larry Gledhill on the outside looking in. So Beckett trying to get by Young in the 51.
Young put a move there on the Powless 77, didn't work, falls back into the clutches of Stephen Beckett. Up ahead too, John Verney and Matt Hill, they're duking it out, and you wonder if they need to take it easy and just enjoy the spots they're in, but Matt Hill doesn't think so. Swings to the outside to pick up that second spot. Not so fast. John Verney races him down into 1 and 2. Hill goes off the end of the track.
It's back on track. He'll tuck in behind Lance Erskine, and well, now he'll shoot to the outside of Erskine and keep the third spot. So a good bit of driving by Matt Hill to save the day. Beckett now into a transfer spot.
Stephen Beckett's driven himself up into that 6th position. He has a look to the inside of Powless. Trevor Young struggled there in turn number 1. Powless going to look back to the inside, but I think Stephen Beckett has other thoughts.
Beckett now distancing himself from Powless and Young and Gledhill, trying to get away and make sure he's locked into this one. 3 cars, 1 position. Who's going to get it?
Oh, Trevor Young goes off the racetrack, loses that 7th spot. Back in 8th, but like you say, 3 drivers, only 1 is going to make it into the show.
Leader Luke Stewart comes off of corner number 4 this time by. 3 laps left to go over John Verney. And then it's Matt Hill in 3rd. Lance Erskine running in 4th. 5th is Stephen Beckett. He's actually begun to catch the front of the field.
Contact for the final transfer. Gledhill and Powless in turn number 4 leaning on each other as we've got 2 laps to go.
Leader Luke Stewart right behind this battle for the final transfer spot. As Verney and Hill continue to battle it out, but the one to watch is Larry Gledhill, who now has the spot. Powless and Young fighting amongst each other, but both right now on the outside looking in.
Whoa, Powless up the racetrack, Young to the inside. That spot doesn't even matter. He's got to get up to Gledhill up ahead. Right there, Luke Stewart saying, hang on to it, boys.
Yeah, I'm the leader. I want the win. He'll grab the checkered flag and make his way into the A main. John Verney, Matt Hill. This has been a good battle throughout this B main, and at the line, Matt Hill grabs the spot away. Good drive by Matt Hill.
Moral victory to Matt Hill there, taking the 2nd spot from John Verney. 4th goes to Lance Erskine. 5th to Stephen Beckett, and a hard-earned 6th place finish to Larry Gledhill in the 14.
I'll tell you what, though, to Tyler Powless and Trevor Young, they made it interesting. This wasn't a B main where the 2 cars that didn't transfer were just kind of an afterthought. They both had their crack to get it in as well. And, man, that was a good race there in that B main.
Fantastic race, and it's my favorite race of any night, Greg. A B main that matters is the best race on a program, bar none.
Unless you're one of those 2 that didn't make the show, then it was your least favorite race of the night. But good job by those that get their way into the A main. When we return, feature racing time from Humberstone Speedway here on GeForce TV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Epic Racewear, race apparel for racers by racers. OSR, Canada's source for race car parts and consumables. Welcome back live to Humberstone Speedway on G-Force TV as we get ready for the redraw for the Dirt Car Sportsman, their 50-lap main event coming up here tonight. Don't forget, again, tomorrow night on G-Force TV, we'll be at Sunset Speedway in Innisville, Ontario for round number 7 of 8 for the APC Series, and it's going to be a good one along with the Quick Firestarter Super Stocks, Mini Stocks also on the card. And then our next event after that will be next Friday night from Merrittville Speedway, where we'll see basically the exact same card as tonight, minus Sportsman. So it'll be sprint cars and the stock cars next Friday night from Merrittville Speedway. Hope you can join us in person. If not, you can tune in on G-Force TV. And then it's championship weekend for the Quick Firestarter Super Stock Series and the APC Series, September 24th and 25th from Delaware Speedway, all live here on G-Force TV.
Drivers making their way over for the redraw. Clinton Jeffrey, does this take you back a little bit? He spent a lot of years touring around with the Dirt Car Super Dirt Car Series.
It kind of does, yeah. Spent a lot of time here too. 15 years as an announcer. Always good to come back. I mean, I got a lot of people messaging us. Tony's been at home watching too. Says, Greg and Adam makes my weekend complete. He said, track looks great. It certainly does here tonight. They've done a fantastic job. Lots of bite left and great crowd here on a Friday night. We get ready to go with our top Sportsman qualifiers for their redraw. And Doug just taking attendance here, guys, and we'll be ready to go here in just a moment.
Next Sunday night right here at Humberstone Speedway, 358s, Dirt Car Sportsman, late model street stocks and mini stocks, humberstonespeedway.ca for all the information. And if you've never been to Humberstone, make the trip. I encourage you to come and see what Terry Vince and the staff here have done. Some great improvements to give this place a facelift. Not just the racing surface, which has been phenomenal, but all around this, the building. There's new siding on the building, new signage. Everything looks great here, and so glad to be here tonight.
I couldn't agree more. Terry Vince has worked hard. The team has worked hard. Look at the gathering. Clinton Jeffrey, is it time to send it down to you to choreograph this?
Hey, you can't steal race car parts. Where are you going with that?
I'm bringing it back to the pits.
See, smart kid. Did he look like he was going to the pits? No.
Security, announcer, promoter, he does it all, ladies and gentlemen.
I know your name, Anthony Dortono. I know where you live, too. Not really. Ready to go, Doug? How many cars we got here? I can't count. 12. Top 12 Sportsman drivers on the board. Got Harper here. All right, first up, no stranger to Humberstone Speedway Victory Lane. Brad Rouse will jump in here and grab the first Frisbee. Well, it's a group effort. Number 2. Brad, let's talk about this one, Brad. You know your way around Humberstone. How do you feel tonight? Sportsman Tour race, some of the best in business, brought it in here on a Friday.
Yeah, no, this is awesome to have all these guys come in and run for the Dirt Series for the Western region and everything. And hopefully we can keep it up front and keep it out of trouble. And I don't know, it'd be nice to be able to go to the States and race against those guys down there too.
Well, we got you here tonight. Good luck, Brad. He'll go from the outside the front row. Next up, Greg Pinty. Another hometowner here. Boy, you guys wouldn't be able to draw if you didn't have kids, would you? You wouldn't know how to pick up a Frisbee by yourself. Greg, talk about it. You've been here a long time. Let's see what you got first. And no cheers out of that one. That's a 1 and a 1. Too many ones on there. Greg, we'll ask you to sign that and then throw it up. Greg, what do you think of all the improvements here? You've been racing here as long as I've been announcing. Pretty cool to see what Terry's done with the place.
Yeah, it's absolutely nice. The people put money into this place. It's 5 minutes down the road for me. And, it's nice. Like I said, you can actually see what you're racing on with lights. And they've done a lot of hard work here. And we're just not doing our job with luck, and it's the way racing goes. Everybody thinks we're giving up. I'm not giving up, but here's our luck again, number 11. So it is what it is. But good job with Terry, and we'll definitely be here back next year.
Greg Penante's got a lucky frisbee. Who wants it? He's going to throw it up there. Next up, another hometowner, Adam Leslie. Where's the 15L? Adam Leslie jumps up here. Adam's going to reach down and pull one. Pull number 9. Adam, how do you feel with that? Not the best draw, but can you get something done here tonight?
Well, we've been starting on the pole the last couple weeks, so hopefully coming from the back is a little bit easier.
I don't think it will be, but good luck. Adam Leslie will throw up frisbee number 9, whoever wants it. Next up, JMF, driver the 72. Jimmy, solid drive. You better say hi to the traveling Milburys. And hold that one up to the camera there, buddy, right here. Number 1. James, you got a long way to go tonight, but from the pole, it's going to make it a bit easier. Let's talk about your drive. I mean, you had some good runs here, but you've also had some rough luck this year. Can you get it done tonight, James?
Yeah, hopefully. The track position will be good. 50 laps is a long race, too, so there's a lot of bite out there. The first 25 is going to be a lot different than the last 25. But starting up front, easier to keep your nose clean, but the car's been running good. The crew's been doing good, and my buddy just drew me a great number, so we'll be good.
Good luck, James. Michael Friesen, go from the front row here tonight, guys. Next up, one of the outsiders, Jessica Power. Where's Jessica at? Welcome, Jessica. Here to the Niagara region. She will reach in and pull number 4. Jessica, that's going to make your drive not too bad. You got 50 laps to get through before you get to drive. How long did it take you guys to get here?
About 4 hours.
We appreciate you being here. 4 hours for the number 4. Who wants Jessica Power and her frisbee? She's got one here. Where's the girl fans? All right, who's up next, Dougie? Justin Sharp in the 8S. My favorite friend. Addie, it's okay. You got the saddest face. What number's that, Addie?
10.
10. Give it to your dad. He doesn't want it. Addie, Sharpie, you got the cutest little girl there. Addie, what's going on with your car? A bit of sparks on the straightaway. We were following it. Anything going on? Did you find anything?
Yeah, the frame rail was just hitting the bottom of the bell of the rear end a little bit. We got Flash over there taking care of it right now, and hopefully we figure out a little more speed for the future.
Look good, man. Just want to make sure it holds up for you. Sharpie will go off in 10th. Next up, driver the number 7, Ty McPherson. Cody McPherson. Sorry, Cody. I was thinking back a couple weeks ago when you guys were both here in Victory Lane. It's going to get Addie to pick for him as well. 12! Oh, boy! Well, Cody, you've got a long way to go, but we've seen you do this in the 50-lap races before as Ease Dog just stormed back to the pits. 12's going to be a long night for you guys.
Yeah, I told him 5 minutes ago I was going to get 12. It's just the way it goes. It's a 50-lap race. It's luck of the draw, and we've had luck before, and we didn't have luck tonight, and it's 50 laps.
Can you make your own, though, Cody?
Gonna have to.
Cody McPherson going to try and make his way up from position number 12 tonight. Next up, driver doing double duty past few weeks, Jay Mallory. Jay Mallory is up next. Where's the mongrel? Here he comes. Jay pulls number 7. Jay, that's kind of mid-pack in the redraw. All the boys down camping, the traveling Wilburys, as they call themselves, go watching down at the other speedway here tonight. What do you think about your shots here from 7th?
Well, I think we got a pretty good car tonight, so this starting spot should be pretty good. We got 50 laps to do it, so hopefully we're there at the end.
How's the modified for Glenn been running for you? Has that helped your Sportsman game at all?
We've been kind of tweaking the modified. We're getting a little better each week. We went backwards last Saturday, but I think we know where we got to get it now, so hopefully it'll help us tonight.
The mongrel Jay Mallory going to go off to position number 7 tonight. Next up, driver the 108, Billy Bleach Jr. Raylan will pull number 5. Number 5 for Billy Jr. Billy, you've had some solid runs, feature win. Can you get it done tonight from the 5th spot?
We're finally getting the hang of things here in the Sportsman, so we'll hope so.
All right, there you have it. Billy Bleach Jr. go from position number 5. Next up, driver the 74, Dave Flanagan Jr. And what's left there? We got 3 left on the floor here. Not that one, not that one. Number 6 for Dave Flanagan Jr. Dave, these Outlaw chassis have been running pretty good. How do you feel about your shot from outside the 3rd row tonight?
I think we're going to be all right. The chassis has been working pretty well. We just haven't managed to get the number 1 yet, but it's hopefully coming soon.
All right, there you have it from Dave Flanagan Jr. Next up, another hometowner, Jeff Pinty in the 66P. Jeff, how are you feeling about your shots here tonight?
Number 3 is nice. Hopefully we can do good.
All right, Jeff Pinty will go from position number 3. He will start on the inside, 1 left. Is that Curtis Friesen. Hey, that was a nice Harper. You don't just kick it at him. Number 8 for Curtis Friesen. Kurt, you look like you're smiling there, bud. Can you make something happen from outside the 4th row?
Oh, we can always make something happen. This Reed's haulage machine and Joe's transmission come on board, so we got a lot of support with these with this car. Ray Hawkridge has got this thing straightened up pretty good, and let's go have some fun.
All right, there you have it. Curtis Friesen will roll off from position number 8. How about, ladies and gentlemen, they're walking back to the pits. Make some noise for all the Sportsman teams that traveled here tonight for the Dirt Car Sportsman Tour event. And we will turn it to a quick break here live on G-Force TV, and we'll be right back to jump into the features.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV presentation is brought to you by Oakwood Transport. We haul cars.
Back live, Humberstone Speedway on G-Force TV. As you see, beautiful shots here at Humberstone. And one of the other improvements, Adam, that we haven't touched on yet is the lighting. And we heard that from some of the drivers in the redraw that the lighting makes a big difference. And I think it probably does in the competition standpoint as well. When you can see, you might be able to make that move that maybe in the dark you might think twice about.
I forget how it was worded, but it was an experienced driver who said, I've run a lot of laps here at Humberstone Speedway, but I've never seen in the dark before. Like, the way they worded it was absolutely hilarious, and I just butchered it, but...
Yeah, fantastic improvements here, and you can see all the lighting and the work done in the infield. And Terry was talking about they're going to hydro seed in the off season and get the grass growing again in the infield and groom this place beautifully. And just such an improvement here. And great job by Terry and the crew. Glad to be here tonight on G-Force TV as Pace Vehicles looping around, and I do see some mini stocks lining up over there in the pit area, so we'll get ready with their feature event here in just a moment.
I'm ready to go. It's time. Let's do this.
Well, they're not ready.
Sorry. I don't sit that high on the pecking order. You will wait there, mister. So it looks like they have worked on flattening that cushion up to the outside. There's still a good bit of bite up there, but it's much less treacherous when it's not like a shelf on the racetrack.
I was about to say tomorrow night, don't forget, Merrittville Speedway will be in action. The Knights of Thunder, the Pinty's Knights of Thunder will be there. And it's the Dirt Car Sportsman running their second half of this doubleheader weekend, another 50 laps at Merrittville tomorrow night. So make sure you... Oh, yes. Spencer reminding us it'll be on G-Force Lite, so you can catch all the action there on Monday from Merrittville Speedway tomorrow night. But by all means, make sure you're there live and in person tomorrow night. Or if you want to take a trip down a little farther west, you can go to Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, where the action sprint tour presented by Pinty's are there tomorrow night. So,
or if you want to see some pavement racing, you could head to Sunset Speedway for the APC late models, or for the Quick Wick Super Stocks. That's going to be a fun program. Again, I hope the race fans realize how fortunate they are this season. There's been some fantastic racing. There's been series that have drawn great car counts, and it's exciting for the fans. When you go to the races, you get to see an action-packed event and full fields of cars, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, it's been, this year has felt a little bit more normal, especially having so many fans in the stands and seeing such fantastic car counts. And now when we go to tracks, it's more so those local drivers back at their own track. Last year, there were so few races. We were seeing a lot of outsiders at different venues and coming in to fill the fields. But this year has definitely been great to have more of a normal season. And still plenty of racing action. As I mentioned, Humberstone Speedway still got racing to come here in the month of September. So go to humberstonесpeedway.ca for that. And Delaware Speedway races into late September. Of course, Autumn Colors Classic, Peterborough runs into October. Brockville's got their big weekend coming up middle of October as well. The Fall Nationals down there, a 2-day show. Can't forget Applefest, 24th, 25th at Brighton Speedway as well. The small blocks will be there along with Sportsman and late models, Canadian Modifieds, UMPs down at Brighton Speedway. You can go to brightonspeedway.ca for that information. Just so much racing here in the province, of course. Flamborough Speedway up a little closer home for us, Adam, and a place that I've really grown to love to go to. And they have Oktoberfest coming up, so it's plenty of racing. If you haven't been out to a track yet, there's no reason why you can't, because there are plenty of options.
This is one of my favorite camera shots we've ever shown on G-Force TV. Just panning through the pits, you see people, you see who's friendly. Cody McPherson was over at Justin Sharp's car having a look at what was going on. People prepping tires back there. The dog's making sure nobody takes the wrong seat in the trailer.
That's actually a shot of you and I in the trailer, or in the tower here. I'm on the floor, you're up in the chair.
No. I don't think I could get my nose there.
So, again, teams preparing, getting ready. The Sportsman teams, they'll have to put a lot of extra work into this. 50 laps is a long distance for the Sportsmen. They're used to running these races, but you got to prep. You got to make sure everything's ready to go on these cars, because 50 laps is a lot of wear and tear, and 2 nights in a row of that. It's a busy weekend for these Dirt Car Sportsman teams.
Looks like the Packer vehicle's exiting the racing surface. We are ready to go feature racing. Greg, if someone said to you there's going to be a special event at a dirt track in this part of Ontario, 5 divisions, the mini stocks will have the smallest car count.
Yeah.
Would you ever believe that?
No, it's things certainly have changed, but the mini stocks are coming out. They have a good size. By no means is this a small feature, but yeah, they do have the smallest car count of all the divisions here tonight. But They're going to put on a great race, I'm sure. Tyler LaFantasy, I still can't get it out. Tyler LaFantasy on the pole in the 96T tonight, with Craig Vlasic on the outside. Kenny Hare down there in row number 2, and Mike Serentakos to his outside.
Rob Hoskins drives the 37, that yellow number 37. Alongside of him in the black 222 is Nick Mazzy. Clinton Barrick is the driver of the 09 machine. To his outside will be John Lubick in the 14.
Starting 9th, Mark Bazine of the 21X, the Burger Barn machine. Braden Cuse on his outside in the 7B. 11th will be Vincent Pagnotta in the 13, and Randy Alway in the 34 goes 12th.
The 71W is Austin Worstrow. The 71C is Ray Sorenzia. The 31 is Trevor DeBoer, and the 3K, if he makes the call, I'm not sure if he did or not, is scheduled to be Kevin Kokrick.
Yeah, I don't see him out there, and didn't make the qualifying heat either. White flag goes in the air, so we are ready to go with our first feature action of the night.
15 laps the distance for these mini stocks. You remember we spoke earlier, front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. You will see the difference here. When a car goes up the track front end first, it's front wheel drive. When a car goes up the track rear wheels first loose, it's rear wheel drive.
"15 laps, mini stocks, ready to go here at Humberstone Speedway. Glad you could join us live and in person and here on G-Force TV as well. And they fan out 3 wide at the drop of the green. Kenny Hare dives down low into corner number 1. LaFantasy in the middle of he and Vlasic.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Vlasic losing some spots down the backstretch. Kenny Hare maintaining that advantage on the inside. That aggressive start paid off for Ken Hare in the 5. LaFantasy falls back to second.
Wow, Mark Bazine had a handful off of corner number 4, gathers it back up right across the nose of Mike Serentakos. Serentakos works to the inside of him off of corner 2.
Down into turn number 3, it's Ken Hare by a car length over LaFantasy. LaFantasy going up to the outside, trying to feel what's up there for bite in that 96.
Across the line, Kenny Hare leads over Tyler LaFantasy. Rob Hoskins door-to-door with Craig Vlasic, for that 3rd position. Serentakos by himself in 5th. And a Worstrow, who came from the back now, is up there to the 6th spot.
Mark Bazine, whoa, contact with Trevor DeBoer in turn 4 with Mark Bazine in that 21 machine. Did all sorts of steering down there to gather that car up. We've got one slow off the racetrack, looks to be heading into the pits.
Yeah, Braden Cuse pulls it off. And into the pit area with Kenny Hare out in front. Started in that 3rd position, made the dive down to the inside of the drop of the green, and is out in front over Tyler LaFantasy, but feeling the pressure now.
Yeah, LaFantasy looks like his car is coming to him. He is right up on the back end of Ken Hare. Rob Hoskins running in the 3rd spot in that yellow number 37, but he's got company. Craig Vlasic, who lost a bunch of ground at the very start, just about lost that car battling with Rob Hoskins. Hoskins slammed the door shut.
Vlasic back there in the 4th spot, and here we go 3 wide behind them. Bazine on the bottom, Serentakos in the middle, Worstrow on the outside line. Worstrow gets a good run on the outside of Serentakos. Now we'll try to get the run on the 21X of Mark Bazine, but gets a little too high in corners 1 and 2.
Well, you drive so high into turn number 1 waiting for the grip. Remember, we've been watching cars do that all night long. Whoa, Ken Hare. All sorts of sideways. I'm not sure if he started to get loose before LaFantasy was there or if Tyler LaFantasy helped him get loose.
Well, we were not really paying attention to the leaders at that moment, but things got, well, literally hairy there off of corner 4 for Kenny Hare as he continues to lead. Cross flags, 8 in, 7 to go.
3rd spot, Craig Vlasic has opened up a little bit on Rob Hoskins in the 37, and behind him it's just a hornet's nest of activity. Mark Bazine in the 21X, Worstrow in the 71, Trevor DeBoer battling side by side with Mike Serentakos. We've got a battle for the lead.
LaFantasy edged ahead, but Kenny Hare will lead the lap in the 5K. Now LaFantasy Edges ahead again in corner number 1 and will get right in front of that 5K machine and take the lead over. This time by, it should be 5 laps left.
Kicks that back end out just a little bit going into the corner. Ken Hara to drive up the racetrack, and that's the advantage LaFantasy has now with Vlasic in the 3rd spot and Hoskins narrowly ahead of Mark Bazine and Worstrow in the 71, who gives Bazine a big old push down the front stretch.
Good racing throughout the field in this one as Bazine now gets a run on Hoskins, brings Worstrow with him to put Bazine on that Burger Barn 21X up to the 4th spot, Worstrow up to 5th.
Who says you can't bump draft in a mini stock?
Making it work is that 71W of Worstrow coming from the back in this one up to the top 5.
LaFantasy picking up about a car length every lap over Ken Hare in that 2nd spot. The 96 just a little bit quicker than that 5 back in 2nd.
So it's LaFantasy, Hare 1 and 2, Vlasic running in 3rd, Bazine 4th, Worstrow in the 5th spot. As we come down this time by, it'll be 2 more circuits around.
LaFantasy leads the way, sees the 2 flags in the air. That means 2 more laps. Craig Vlasic, he is running quick laps right now, but he's got a long way to go if he wants to catch up to Hare. There's going to be a lap car in the way of Tyler LaFantasy. I don't think he'll have too much trouble.
No, he's down. Tyler is down to the inside, lap vehicle on the outside. So 1 more trip around for Tyler LaFantasy over Kenny Hare. Craig Vlasic, Mark Bazine, the top 5 spread out pretty evenly right now.
Steady laps. Tyler LaFantasy has hit his marks, driven away just a little bit from Ken Hare, and he's going to take that advantage underneath the checkered flag for the win. Hare finishes 2nd, 3rd to Vlasic 4th. Bazine, Worstrow rounds out the top 5.
6 will be Rob Hoskins, 7th Trevor DeBoer, 8th will be Mike Sarantakos, 9th Nick Massey, 10th John Lubick, 11th goes to Clinton Barrick, 12th Vincent Pagnotta, 13th Randy Allway, 14th races Cerenzia, and then 15th Braden Q, 16th, not starting this one, Kevin Kokrick. So Tyler LaFantasy will go to victory lane and talk with our Clinton Jeffrey here in just a little bit. And another cool feature here at Humberstone Speedway, they've moved the victory lane to the fan side of the fence. Very similar setup to what they have at Brockville Ontario Speedway now with their victory lane down at the base of the flag stand, but right up and close so the fans can see the winner. I like that. Great idea to get fans as close as they can, get to know these drivers and see the cars like maybe some fans have never seen. You know, you and I, we go to so many different racetracks, we've seen so many different races, and we're up and close and whatever, but for a young child to be able to see that victory lane celebration up close, pretty cool experience.
Once again, Greg, I agree.
Wow, twice in a night.
This is starting to hurt. Tyler LaFantasy makes it over the scales. To prove that his car met the minimum weight requirements, he will work his way through 3 and 4 along the fan side of the fence line and pull into Humberstone victory lane in memory of Pete Costco.
Yeah, just about to say that. They got a nice picture down there of Pete Costco in victory lane. Such an important part of Humberstone Speedway in its past. And here comes the winner. Making the turn down here in front of the grandstand.
ATV Escort for Tyler LaFantasy.
How's this going to work one night where there's a race and the winner did something that the fans don't like?
We had that here. Who was it, the unpopular? And then even the golf cart picks up the crew from the pits and brings them out. Who was it that rolled in, Clint, a couple of weeks ago and wasn't entirely popular?
I can't recall, but I do remember there was some action down here. And we've got some fan favorites, so you can bet things will get a bit wild. Here he comes out of the car, no stranger to the new Humberstone victory lane down in front here. Tyler LaFantasy gets it done tonight once again. In the Dow Auto Supply mini stock feature. Come on over, Ty, we'll get a word with you here as he works to get the one-way radio off and works his way around. Tyler, another solid drive for you. I mean, you certainly know your way around. If anybody's been giving your partner Rothwell a run for the money here in Niagara region, it's been you. You've had a great year. Tell us about it.
You know, it's been an awesome year. Just short on words, like running with my buddy all year. We finished first, second in the points. We won a ton of races between me, him, and Austin. It's been an awesome year for TMR.
Great job here. How cool is it to be down front with the fans here at Humberstone?
I think this is probably the greatest idea that a track's come up with in a long time. Having all the fans cheering and waving when you're coming through here, this is a great idea.
Congrats, he picks up another one, guys.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Tyler LaFantasy will get it done. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV with the Street Stock feature coming up.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by RS1, 99.9% pure top-grade methanol, the official fuel of the Action Sprint Tour. BestWayBetting.com, where the dreaming is easy. Welcome back live to Humberstone Speedway on G-Force TV, where we see the street stocks lined up and ready to go, Adam.
Here's how they're going to line up for tonight's feature event. On the pole in the 49, it's Dave Bailey. Brewster Baker. On the outside of row number 1 in the 41 machine, it's Adam Plazik. Row 2 on the inside in the 11, it's Go Fast Teeple. Alongside him is the 1J of Jason Fontaine. Spencer Smolders drives the number 21, and on the outside of him, the 1JB or 1J2, whatever they called it tonight. Corey Sawyer behind the wheel of the 1J2. Next in line, the 25 is Kenny Sargent. To his outside in that 28 machine is Jim Lampman. Pete Reed behind the wheel of the 05. Alongside him, the 01 is Barry Beck Jr. Kyle Wirt drives the 19 machine. Greg, who did we decide was driving the 48 tonight?
That is... where are we here?
I'm going to need more.
Al King.
Al King. I'm going to need more help than that. Next row back on the inside, the 108 is Zach Bleach, and the 96 is?
It's the 960 of Brandon Swinson.
The 960, that's why that screws me up. Brandon Swinson.
Bryce Richardson in the 11 Junior. And then the 30, which is Tom Pearson. And then we've got Mike Thorne back there in the back row.
Who's that at the end? That's an 11 machine, I think. Who dat? Rob General. That
right,
11
Rob,
is a 44.
And I don't get to correct you a lot, but Scott Sonnenberg's in the 1J2.
Oh, it is.
Corey
That's
Sawyer.
right.
Green is out. Dave Bailey starting on the pole. The rest of the field's probably thinking, oh my.
You're not kidding. Dave Bailey out in front. The reason you don't correct me much, Greg, is you don't listen to a thing I say.
What was that?
Bailey to the lead. Fontaine racing for that second spot over Adam Plazik. Go Fast Teeple.
There in that fourth spot with Logan Schwedick on his back bumper. Dave Bailey stretching it out right now for Jason Fontaine in that second spot. Adam Plazik third, then it's Teeple. And Smolders has had a good night tonight.
Yeah, Smolders has shown some speed this season in that 21 machine. He runs out there in the 5th spot, and they're all over him from behind. Kenny Sargent in the 25, a little bit of contact there, but he couldn't move down at all. Pete Reed was to the inside. They were 3 wide down into the turn. Pete Reed going to lose in that exchange, but he backed off just a little bit to make that move to the inside. Sorry, Spencer Smolders, you've run out of racetrack.
Yeah, he gets it back on the back stretch, but he's lost a lot of positions now back there with the 108 of Zach Bleach and the 19 of Kyle Wirt.
Just ahead of them, it's Barry Beck in the 0-1 as Jim Lampman gets up the racetrack in turn number 2. Great battle on the racetrack for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Adam Plaza kicks the back end out in that white number 41. Go Fast Teeple applying the pressure.
And look at Pete Reed. Shoots down on the bottom by Teeple. Now works to the inside of Adam Plaza. He got a great run through 1 and 2.
Went for a twofer.
And he's got the spot now at the line. He's up to 3rd. Behind Fontaine and leader Dave Bailey, who's already caught cars at the back of the pack.
Dave Bailey cruises into turn number 3, decisively to the inside, to put Swinson a lap down in that 960 machine.
Bailey now gets by the 48 machine and has that gap between he and the 1J of Jason Fontaine. Then it's Pete Reed a good distance back in 3rd. Adam Plaza continues to hold down 4th over Go Fast Teeple. Is feeling a lot of pressure right now for that 25 of Ken Sargent. Looks down low in corner 1.
Sargent eased that car to the inside. Dust was coming off the guardrail, so he couldn't have gone any lower on the racetrack if he wanted to, and Go Fast Teeple kept squeezing him down. He'll maintain that spot for the time being.
Barry Beck Jr. back in that fight as well. In the mix with Ken Sargent, Go Fast Teeple, and Adam Plaza.
Everybody fighting for the bottom of the racetrack right now. Sargent drives it deep down into 3, takes the bottom line from Go Fast Teeple. Behind him, Barry Beck pitches it into the corner, then drives it down the banking. He's got to close that gap before Teeple can slam the door.
Leader right now, right behind 2 slower cars, still on the lead lap. They're battling for position. Bailey looks to thread the needle. He's in between them, and now we'll clear.
Kenny Sargent working a bump and run on Adam Plazik, and Plazik having none of it.
He shut the door going into 1 there.
He brake checked him and then shut the door. Adam Plazik did a nice job there. Kenny Sargent was in a big old hurry. He put the bumper to him last time around. This time looks like he's hanging back just a little bit off the back bumper of that 41. But as I say that, Adam Plazik got suspiciously loose.
Sargent now works to the outside. Brings Go Fast Teeple on that outside line.
Big contact off of turn number 4 between General and the 44 and the 30 machine.
Pearson in that machine as Pete Reed will try to work by both of them.
Seems like the excitement follows that Pearson machine as we are under yellow for a car spun out in 3 and 4. That is Zach Bleach.
So first caution comes with 7 laps left to go here for the Thunder Stocks. Or Street Stocks as they call them here at Humberstone.
Why call the same cars the same thing at different racetracks when you could come up with a fancy name?
Well, this is the name that I grew up knowing them as, the Street Stocks.
But which is unusual because you neither drive them on the street nor are they stock in any way. They bring the thunder.
So do you, but we don't call you Thunder Ross.
Maybe some people do.
Yours is more of a rumble, not a thunder.
Last week we were.
Lord Tundra. Have a look at the replay from our turn 3 camera, and yeah, Bleach just got in there a little bit hot, spins the car around, and everybody able to take evasive action. So after this, we still have the 50 laps for the Dirt Sportsman. And then, of course, the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. The Pinty's Knights of Thunder. Lots of action still to come. White flag is out. We'll set these cars loose next time at a turn number 4. And I have a feeling Pete Reed might have something for our race leader.
Yeah, he's been very quick and done a nice job as he was working through the lap traffic, keeping pace with the leaders, and now he's going to be right there in the back bumper of Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey, with 7 laps left to go. Jason Fontaine by no means out of this. He's on the outside of Bailey on this restart, and Ken Sargent, the veteran, right there as well, starting 4th.
Green flag is out. Bailey and Fontaine door-to-door down the front straightaway into turn number 1.
Fontaine works that outside line, and he'll drag race Dave Bailey down into corner number 3. Bailey's got that inside line. They continue to go wheel to wheel off of the corner. This time by 6 laps left to go, and Fontaine is the leader.
Fontaine putting his car in a perfect position, keeping the left front corner of his car down in front of the right front of Dave Bailey. Now Bailey able to muscle his way around there, but Fontaine drove a masterful lap, the first lap after this restart, to keep Dave Bailey pinned down to the inside.
Meanwhile, Pete Reed breaks free of Ken Sargent for the moment. They were door-to-door as well for the first couple of laps, and now he'll grab the back bumper of Jason Fontaine as they've switched spots. Fontaine now on the bottom, Bailey on the outside. Pete Reed looking to slip by them both.
Pete Reed right there to capitalize should anything happen. 5 laps to go in this street stock feature event. Fontaine drives it deep into the corner, pushing Bailey up the track. Pete Reed says thank you very much.
Pete Reed down to the bottom in corner number 3. He'll work it off the 4th turn. Fontaine still stout on the outside, but at the line, Pete Reed, your new leader.
Pete Reed, the benefactor of Jason Fontaine, getting aggressive with Dave Bailey. Now Bailey going to try to retake that 2nd spot. And no, he's not. He's going to turn Fontaine. Oh! Hard into the Jersey barrier. Fontaine trying to close the door on Dave Bailey. Come back to the inside.
That was a hard hit on that Jersey barrier. Fairly heavy damages. Fontaine's climbed from the car. That's the good news.
Going for a long walk there is Jason Fontaine. That was an abrupt stop. So what we know, Greg, is that the lap before, Fontaine had drove that car deep down into the corner to the inside of Dave Bailey, and then Bailey got to the inside off of turn number 2. Fontaine tried to close the door on him, and then, man, that was a solid impact with that Jersey barrier.
Well, guys, you can see the damage here on camera 6 as it is badly punched in the side. You can bet all kinds of frame issues here. We're going to get a good look at it when they finally pull it off the barrier here, but man, that was a hard lick into this Jersey barrier, and if you look here, it actually cracked the barrier in half. Jack, look at that. Split the barrier in 2, guys. That was one solid piece about a lap and a half ago.
Both the barrier and the race car. One solid piece about a lap ago.
Hit that with such speed. Now, damage-wise to the car, is that maybe the best location he could have hit it?
Well, you know, it's ugly anyways. You looked at it, Greg. Had he hit it with either corner, and then when they lift this up, you're going to see the right rear tire is going to fall off. They've tore up the rear end, the frame, all kinds of issues here, guys, as you see them. That's a rim and a tire that's badly destroyed here. All kinds of issues on the 1J for Fontaine, and I don't think there was any way that car could have been, you know, saved, guys. You know, you've heard of left-hander chassis. This is more like a right-hander chassis now. It is twisted badly. Fontaine is going to have all kinds of issues there, and not even the right front will roll. Tons of damage here as we look at it, give you a scan of the car. Wow, that was horrible, guys.
So we're going to watch the replay here. Keep an eye on the barrier as Fontaine hits it and watch it move. As we go with slow motion, it's a solid piece right there. And then bang, look at it. Like it made it look like it was a piece of styrofoam is what it did. And it split that concrete and moved it. Can we get that one at full speed now, and let's just watch the barrier to see how fast and hard that hit was, and watch the barrier move at full speed. Man.
The barrier gave, that light pole did not in any way. They're either going to have to flatbed that car off the racetrack or cradle it, which is another thing we don't see very much of anymore.
It will be cradled, Adam. Neither the front end nor the rear end can move.
Now look at that shot, Adam. That gives you an idea from the drone how that narrowed that car up.
Yeah, it really did. Now, the right side doesn't have near as much protection on it as the left side does. The left side, you've got your roll cage where the driver sits. In fact, Todd Gordon, step right up here. We're gonna have a quick chat with someone who builds these race cars. And he built that one. You may build the next one as well. Talk about the difference between hitting something that hard on the right side compared to the left side, Todd.
Well, if anything's going to be hit that way, Adam, it's the best way to hit on the right because, like you said, with the left, all the bars are out that side. The right, that's a lot of body damage that you're looking at right now. It doesn't look like it hit the frame at all. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens.
So Todd Gordon, we know poking his head in to have a look at these replays. Did you see the replay, Todd? You're a racer yourself. Have a look at this. We talked about Fontaine running Bailey up the track a little bit the lap before. Is this just racing? Is this plain dirty? What's your thoughts?
I think it was two guys going for the same real estate, honestly. And right here for this video, Jay does come down a little bit. There's definitely Jay did come down. There's nothing about that. You can deny that.
No, and always good, Greg, to get that perspective from a racer, especially when they happen to just walk into the booth at the perfect time. Todd, great to talk to you. Always good to see you. Solid. The other good thing about hitting something like that, sort of traveling backwards on the right side, all of the driver's protection, Greg, is most effective when you hit something backwards on the right side. The headrest on the seat, the rib rest, everything about the car and the safety equipment is best suited to protect you in that sort of impact. See, Clinton Jeffrey's not the only one that can interview drivers.
That fell in your lap. They come to you. That's how good you are.
I don't think I ever want Todd Gordon to fall in my lap. He's a swell fella. Personal bubble.
We're now accepting applications. White flag is out.
So we haven't heard word from Doug Leonard, but I know he did look at that again and again and maybe saw it the same way as Todd Gordon. Two people going for the same spot, one driver coming down, one driver coming up. But a tough ending.
Back to the green flag, and Pete Reed is the leader. And you mentioned that, Adam, on that last restart, that he's got a fast car. Now he's got a chance to prove it.
Got a great launch, did Pete Reed on that restart. Dave Bailey dropping back about 2-3 car lengths behind the 0-5. He'll drive it deep into turn number 3. Kenny Sargent keeping pace with the top two as they drive away from Adam Plazik.
Two more circuits around for Pete Reed, the crazy alien, out in front over Dave Bailey and Ken Sargent right now. Sargent's still in the thick of it. Adam Plazik's had a solid run. Still in that fourth spot, he's got Barry Beck and Jim Lampman breathing down his neck.
Down through 3 and 4, white flag going to be displayed this time. One more time around, and Dave Bailey is not getting the drive off the corner that Pete Reed is in the 0-5.
They've got a lap car that just had problems in corner number 2. Right in front of them here come the checkered flag. What line will that lap car take? Pete Reed has the top spot coming to the checkers.
Pete Reed gonna take the win. Dave Bailey second. Kenny Sargent third. Look at this battle. Jim Lampman fourth. Plazik fifth. Barry Beck, Go Fast, Teeple, Smolders, Wirt.
Zach Bleach will round out the top 10.
Yeah, Bleach took it. I had to look at the timing and scoring. And if I had a drone in the air right now, I'm not saying that I do, but we might, I would probably take it towards the pits. I would think right around the 49 trailer would be where you want that drone positioned for the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Subtle hint. It's like you've done this before, Adam. You spy on your neighbors? If I had a drone.
No. Nothing exciting with the neighbors. They didn't wreck someone down the backstretch. And we look at it when we see a racing incident. If you're the driver of the 1J, Jason Fontaine, you eventually might see it as a racing accident, but right now you're feeling hard done by. As Pete Reed, and I shouldn't put words in his mouth, but that's generally the consensus when you have a wreck like that, and that's the level upset we get as we look at the cars going over the scales. Pete Reed being sent to victory lane.
Still to come, Action Sprint Tour will be up next, and then the 50-lap Dirt Car Sportsman Series race, and we'll conclude tonight with the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. Plenty of action still to come here on G-Force TV as the crazy alien Pete Reed will bring it down to the fan side victory lane in memory of Pete Costco. Pete's always got fantastic looking race cars. And now he's going to get some victory lane photos to celebrate this one here at Humberstone Speedway. Greg Kellman up in the booth along with Adam Ross, and down trackside Clinton Jeffrey, who will talk with the winner Pete Reed. If we had 2 Clinton Jeffreys, we'd send Clinton Jeffrey number 2 over to the pit area.
This Clinton Jeffrey wishes he was over in the pit area.
Yeah, right now there's not much going on. Dave Bailey's pulled up into the tech lane. Not much of a crowd around his race car. And Clinton has company in victory lane in the form of Pete Reed, driver that 05. We thought he'd have enough speed to battle with the leaders if he got a yellow. He got the yellow, and then he got the opportunity he needed, and Pete Reed scores the victory. We'll send it down to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot, Adam. Pete Reed is known as the crazy alien. He'll climb out of here with a 05. How to big. Humberstone Speedway victory lane welcome for Pete Reed here, ladies and gentlemen. Pete, come on around, have a word with us. Pete, you know, you've been doing this a long time, up and down over the years, but great way to kind of finish off your season here.
Yeah, this was a beautiful facility. Thanks for everything that the new owners have done and everything. We've actually been doing this 25 years this year. That's why the silver car. I started at 12 years old racing go-karts, and you know, hopefully Jay's okay. It looked like a nasty hit on the back, but I needed that caution. Came out, and then just bide my time. They pushed up a little bit and took the hole and gone.
Congrats, man. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank these guys over here. They're crewing for me every time. My beautiful wife at home. I'm not sure if the kids stayed up to see this, but thanks for G-Force and everything, putting this on TV. Thanks for all the names on the side of this car, everybody at work, all the fans, everybody, you know, hits me up on social media. We had a rough start getting going this year. Almost parked it. You know, a couple people just pushed, and glad we did. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Solid drive. Pete Reed, the crazy alien, gets it done here at Humberstone on a Friday night. Stick around. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV. Action Sprinter Crates powered by Pinty's coming up next.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by WeatherTech Custom Cut Floor Mats and Vehicle Accessories. Visit them online at weathertech.ca. Pinty's, making great food fun. Back live at Humberstone Speedway on GeForce TV as we get ready for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's for their feature event here tonight. Beautiful Friday night in Port Colborne, Ontario. Again, I'm Greg Kellman. With me, Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey down trackside as we get ready for 25 laps, the A main distance. And 2 winners so far with the Action Sprint Tour in 2021. Nick Sheridan has 1 win. Jacob Dykstra has all the rest, and we'll see if Jacob Dykstra can get it done here on his home track. Always so good here at Humberstone Speedway as we get ready to push these cars off and get ready to go. The Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Starting lineup looks like this, going from the pole from Freelton in the MS Road Solutions DJD Graphics 12 DD. It's Darren Dryden. Alongside him from Brantford, the National Building Group, JDL Distributing, number 49L, Lucas Smith. Starting in third from Bowmanville, the 31 is Dale Curran. And on his outside from Hamilton, the Petro Plus Travel Stop Burger Barn 56, it's Derek Lemaire. Going off fifth from Waterloo, the Velocity Mechanics ILA Sports 19D of Alan Downey. And starting in sixth from Mosley, Ontario, the CarStar Brantford, Bobcat of Brantford 3S of Austin Rose. Starting in seventh from Mount Bridges, the Vibrant Farms, Pride Seats 45 of Nick Sheridan. And his outside going from eighth, the current point leader at Port Colborne, the Maverick Real Estate Dow Auto, number 5D, Jacob Dykstra. Starting in ninth out of Thamesford, the Oakwood Transport, Fast Track Performance 7 of Eric Gledhill. And alongside him in 10th from Six Nations, the True North .Bet Nitro 54 Variety 38 of Derek Miller. Starting in 11th out of Oshwegan, the Hills Tire Sue's Sales 99 of Joshua Hill. And his outside starting in the 12th spot from Wayne Fleet, the Sundance Pressure Washing Castle Plumbing BS 39 of Brett Stratford. Going 13th from Kitchener in the MSD Machine Tool 39, Shane Stickle. And from 14th out of Six Nations, the Styes Tree Service Enrium Dynamics 20, the Iceman Johnny Miller. Going 15th out of Kitchener, the 50LS, that's Adrian Staley. And from 16th out of Rockwood, Ontario, the Radio Shuttle Neely Auto 74, Rob Neely. Going 17th out of Oshwegan, the Original Traders Energy, Bickles Hardware and Supplies 77E, Ashton Van Every. And his outside going 18th from Ancaster, the 7-Star Express Line, Shane Renovation 26X, Terry Baker. Starting at 19th from Sydenham, Ontario, the Draper Doors, Penny Blake Home Team, number 9 of Luke Stewart. And going 20th out of Oshwegan, the Nitro 54 Variety, MK8, Matt Hill. Starting 21st from Salmon Arm, British Columbia, and the 7-Star Express Line, Shane Renovations 26, it's John Verney. And 22nd from Brantford, the Burger Barn East 1 Construction 48, Lance Erskine. Starting 23rd from Font Hill, in the Glow and Go Tanning, Glenholm Motors, Seminex SO 08, it's Stephen Beckett. And 24th from Thamesford, the Oakwood Transport AV Utility 14, Larry Gledhill. 24 cars, 25 laps the distance for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's.
Hey, you want me to help you with that, Greg?
You can help me with the Sportsman one. That's all yours.
Full field of action sprint tour presented by Pinty Sprint Cars. 24 cars going to take the green flag, 12 rows of 2. You know, if I'm Darren Dryden or Lucas Smith, I've got to see this as opportunity. Jacob Dykstra did not get that good a draw, neither did Nick Sheridan. That green flag drops. It is time to go and run away and hide if you can. Easier said than done.
10 rounds so far this year. Jacob Dykstra has 7 wins. The next closest is Rained Out with 2, and Nick Sheridan has 1. So Nick Sheridan's just trying to tie it up with the rain this year here tonight. That's been how dominant Jacob Dykstra has been here tonight. He's got some work to do from 8th, and the pace truck about to pull off. We're going to see if he can get it done. Darren Dryden and Lucas Smith on the front row for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Oh, one off the track in corner number 1.
Saved it. Is that Derek Lemaire?
Derek Miller and Derek Lemaire are off the track. They've gotten it going again, and we're still under green.
Man, they're still bouncing off each other in 3 and 4. Between the guardrail and the lip of the racetrack, problem for Adrian Staley in the 50 machine. He is slow up the outside of the racetrack. Out in front, though, Double D, Darren Dryden with a great advantage over the 49 of Lucas Smith.
Waiting to see if Adrian Staley can make it off. I know he's not going to, so that'll put us under the caution flag. Adrian Staley comes to a rest on the outside of corner number 2, so with 2 laps on the board, going to the caution flag, and that first lap couldn't have, well, it could have been worse for Derek Miller, but it couldn't have got much worse. He had problems down in 1 and 2, and then got bottled up in 3 and 4 as well, and then on the front stretch he got caught in behind Adrian Staley, and now is finding himself at the back, and really all of that I don't think had much to do with him. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's not a word I use all that often when we call races, Greg, but that first lap was sketchy.
That describes it.
There was treachery going on everywhere. There was opportunity for a few different problems. Hats off to these drivers for the reflexes to correct after all hell broke loose.
1 week ago, that would have been called shenanigans in the Stinger race.
Yes. That was a fabulous pep talk by the race director last week. There will be no shenanigans or tomfoolery.
Great shot there as Adrian Staley gets pushed into the pit area. Let's watch this green flag. Oh! That was Derek Miller's problem. Or pardon me, Derek Lemaire's problem. Derek Miller kind of went off the banking and won, but Derek Lemaire hopped over Dale Curran's right rear.
But then it got worse for Derek Miller into 3 and 4. He gets hung up on the high side.
Trying to avoid Matt Hill, and then he gets blocked behind Adrian Staley.
What a roller coaster of emotions that first lap was.
I'm off. Oh, I'm going again. Oh, no, I got to slow down.
We are taking the long ride with Adrian Staley back towards his trailer in the pit area. There's nobody there.
That's a lonely feeling.
We're eating ice cream. We are looking at a wide open trailer. Okay, there goes the ATV. Someone's going to go back to greet the number 50 of Adrian Staley, but he noses into that trailer, which generally means the night is over.
Yeah, the front end is towed out. He's got a problem with the tie rod, guys. The right front is towed out badly. That's the issue here for Staley.
Back to the green flag. Single file past the restart cone as they come by with 2 laps into the record books. 23 to go.
How good was that first lap for Nick Sheridan if he's up in the 3rd spot in that 45 machine, started back in row number 4.
Here they come to complete lap number 3, and Sheridan trying to track down the top 2. Good battle right now is shaping up with Dykstra to the outside of Curran. Now he'll work on Alan Downey to try and grab that 4th position. Meanwhile, Sheridan now to the 2nd spot.
There's a lot of goers and comers out there on the racetrack. I'm watching Stephen Beckett in that 08. He had to transfer through the B main. He's back in a hornet's nest right now, deep in the field, but making some good progress. He was using the outside line when a lot of drivers were racing for the bottom, Greg.
He and Derek Lemaire are trying to work their way through the field and doing a nice job of it as they try to catch Rob Neely. Up in front is Darren Dryden, Nick Sheridan, and Lucas Smith. 1, 2, 3, and guess who's hunting those 3 down? Jacob Dykstra's up to 4.
Jacob Dykstra's on the... Whoa! Lucas Smith just bicycled that number 49, just about launched it in 3 and 4. gathers it back in. We've got a pass for the lead. Nick Sheridan to the inside of Darren Dryden.
Yeah, Darren Dryden gives up the top spot. Now the caution flag comes out as we've got Johnny Miller wadded up down here in corner number 1.
I believe with Rob Neely.
Yep, Rob Neely in the 74. I shouldn't say wadded. I don't know as though they've actually made contact even.
I would like to see if we have a replay of what happened to Lucas Smith there. He was up near the front, but I'm not sure if the cameras were focused on that 49L at the time.
Talked about Nick Sheridan making a run through the field. How about Luke Stewart, who came from the B main as well? And no, sorry, he did not come from. Yes, he did. He won the B main, and he's up to the 10th spot already. So Luke Stewart having a good opening few laps here.
You really worked that out. Clinton, what's going on?
Well, both Neely and the Iceman Johnny Miller both just need to push, guys. They'll be ready to go here shortly.
We'll have a look at this replay. Watch for the orange wing. Wow. And that happens in such a split second. A nice job by Lucas to recognize it, jump out of the throttle real quick, and right back into it.
I don't know how they do it. That would have been enough for me to pull it into the infield. And
let me tell you, the butt pucker would have been enough to keep me glued to the racetrack like a vacuum.
Oh, Clint, help me.
You don't think there's a pucker factor when the car starts to go like that? Forget about it.
It's just the imagery, Adam.
I'm all about analogies.
You couldn't pucker it last Sunday night.
I don't know why you got to bring up last. Like, look forward. The future is now.
Oh.
White flag. Next time by, we'll go green. Darren Dryden will get the lead. Nick Sheridan, the 45, runs second. Lucas Smith, third in the 49. Then is Jacob Dykstra in the 5D. Alan Downey in the 19. Something interesting about Dykstra. He went by Alan Downey, and Downey tried to follow his line and his speed into turn number 1. And Downey just about drove off the end of the racetrack. It did not end well. He just couldn't he couldn't do the same thing Jacob Dykstra did down into 1 and 2.
Ready to come back to the green flag with Darren Dryden back atop the leaderboard. Single file past that restart cone as they go down into corner number 1. Here comes Jacob Dykstra trying to nose up the inside of the 49 to Lucas Smith. He shuts the door.
Top 2. Darren Dryden has changed something about
his... Sorry, Adam. Dale Curran got into the side of Austin Rose, but holds on to it.
3 wide for the moment. Deep in the field, just a gaggle of race cars was out in front. The top 3 have broken away.
Darren Dryden, Nick Sheridan, and Jacob Dykstra, 1, 2, 3. Then it's a gap back to Lucas Smith, Alan Downey, and Brett Stratford. Another good run for him tonight. Up in the 6th spot, 7th Austin Rose, 8th Eric Ledhill, and 9th now Luke Stewart as he continues to march. But here comes Jacob Dykstra, the point leader. 7 wins on the year. He's right on the tail tank of the 12D of Darren Dryden. Darren Dryden holds the lead off of corner 4, but here comes Dykstra slinging around the outside. He'll grab the top spot at the line, so put the point leader to the top of the scoreboard. Jacob Dykstra leads now over Dryden, Sheridan, Smith, and Downey.
Jacob Dykstra's just been so unbelievably fast this season in that 5D. Cuts his way through the field, although he just about got off the outside of the racetrack there in turn number 2.
Yeah, he's right up there in that fine, thin line, working it hard now. He'll catch the back of the pack, and Ashton Van Every, the first car in front of him, he'll look to the work to the outside of that machine. But Darren Dryden keeping a fairly good pace right now behind the leader, and he's still within striking distance if the leader has problems in this lap traffic.
Into traffic they go, Jacob Dykstra. I mean, this is where Dykstra excels. He is so very aggressive, puts that 5 machine wherever he wants it to go. I mean, he drives that with a purpose.
Here's the battle for second. Nick Sheridan to the inside of Darren Dryden down in corner number 3. Problem is for Nick Sheridan, the lane he's running in is filled with lapped cars.
Darren Dryden doing a nice job to hang on to that second spot. Sheridan showed his nose to the inside.
And now Lucas Smith will run to the inside of Sheridan and take third away.
Wow, Lucas Smith again his car got gnarly there in 3 and 4.
Leader works by Johnny Miller now to the inside of Rob Neely down the back stretch. So 2 or 3 lap cars now, make it 3 lap cars between he and second place Darren Dryden. Then it's Lucas Smith in third, Nick Sheridan running fourth, and then Alan Downey and Brett Stratford 5th and 6th.
Good run for Brett Stratford in that 6th position as Jacob Dykstra just continues to carve through this field. He's got to have 6 or 7 cars between himself and second place.
And he's gotten by some good race cars right now to gap himself on second place Darren Dryden, as Shane Stickle will pull off into the infield in the 39 machine. Oh, Darren Dryden will cough up second up in corner number 3 as Lucas Smith will get by. Dryden got a little whoopsie up there in corner 3.
This track has some treachery about it as that battle for second remains side by side. Sheridan on the inside, Dryden not giving up on the high side. Sheridan trying to get a nose underneath Johnny Miller. And he will down into 1 and 2, and Alan Downey going to try to follow him through on the bottom.
5 laps left this time. Oh! Dykstra got awfully close to the wall off of corner number 4 as he's trying to get by this lap traffic. Wow. Remember, he doesn't know how close second place is to him. He needs to keep it going full throttle all the way around this track, not knowing the huge advantage he has right now over Lucas Smith.
No rear view mirrors, no radios, no spotters, just a driver and his steering wheel and the 2 pedals.
The leader enters corner number 3. Meanwhile, second place comes off of corner 2. So straightaway advantage right now, as Nick Sheridan now finds himself in the 3rd spot. Alan Downey has gotten to the outside of Darren Dryden and into the 4th spot, so Dryden's sliding back.
Brett Stratford now closing in on that battle between Alan Downey in the 19, Darren Dryden in the 12. Stratford getting a good run on the bottom as we get 2 laps to go.
Jacob Dykstra in heavy traffic. Stephen Beckett, Derek Lemaire, Austin Rose directly in front of him. Coming to the white flag this time by. He's got plenty of breathing room. Just needs to get around one more time.
Lots of traffic out there, though, in front of Jacob Dykstra as he aggressively works through traffic, trying to find a way to get around Stephen Beckett, Derek Lemaire, and Austin Rose as the 3 of them race hard down the backstretch.
Final time through 3 and 4. Close calls for the leader, Beckett. Oh, baby, with Austin Rose there. Checkers out. Jacob Dykstra will get the win. Second place, Lucas Smith. Third, Nick Sheridan. Fourth at the line, it's going to be Alan Downey. Then it's Darren Dryden, Brett Stratford, your top 6. Luke Stewart all the way up to 7th from winning the B main. 8th goes to Eric Gledhill. 9th, Dale Kernan. 10th, Stephen Beckett, who also came from the B main. So good runs for a couple of those drivers coming from the back. Austin Rose 11th. 12th, Derek Lemaire. 13th, Josh Hill. 14th, Terry Baker. 15th, Lance Erskine. 16th, Rob Neely. 17th, Matt Hill. 18th, Derek Miller. 19th, Johnny Miller. 20th, Larry Gledhill. 21st, John Verney. 22nd, Ashton Van Every. 23rd, Shane Stickle. And 24th, Adrian Staley. So Jacob Dykstra picks up win number 8 on the season out of 9 races competed.
Dykstra heading right down to victory lane in that 5D. He'll roll it to a stop. Wait for a push from the crew. So as he heads to victory lane, Greg, what a display of driving. Aggression, skill, a little bit of finesse in there as well for young Jacob Dykstra, who's making a real habit of this winning.
He had an oh moment in corner 4 there. towards the end, working around lap traffic. But once again, finds himself in victory lane. The hometown boy comes home to get the checkered flag. Clinton Jeffrey will meet him down in victory lane here in just a moment. 8th win on the season. I think it's time to put his name in the championship trophy. I'm not sure as though he's going to be caught.
I think mathematically it could still be done, but the way this 5D's been running, it's going to be a tough sled for the rest of the division. He will work his way out here with the Dow Auto Supply Maverick Real Estate AZ Expediting Machine, and we'll get a word with him in just a moment. Here he comes, Port Colborne, one of your own. Jacob Dykstra gets it done again tonight. We meet again, Jake. Good, what a heck of a season you're having here, man. It's been dominant for you. You know, you're just driving more aggressive than the rest of the guys out here. It's safe to say you've got more practice than anybody because you've been doing it here since you were 12 years old. Talk about your night, man, just flat out. But you did have a couple gulpers tonight. Lap traffic nearly put you in the fence twice.
Yeah, lap traffic is hard when it's fast like this, and not really anyone's gotten experience like this. It's really heavy today, but cushion was nice, and we were able to run it really good. And the only reason why we did good is because that big boy right there, he's the guy that does all of our tires, and yeah, he's the reason why we're winning this year. And big thanks to him and all my crew, my dad, my mom, my grandpa, my uncle, and all my guys that come out here and help out. I gotta thank all my sponsors though, like Mavericks, A to Z Expediting, Dow Auto Supply, Westside Automotive, 24/7 Water, Simplistic Linens, Snap-on, Reese's Tools, and all these beautiful fans for coming out here tonight. This is awesome.
Jacob Dykstra gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. We'll send it up to Greg and Adam for a full field rundown.
Once again, 24 cars in the field. Jacob Dykstra celebrating there in victory lane. And just like Greg said, a great drive for Luke Stewart through the B main up to a top 10, finishing 7th. Stephen Beckett, the same story. Dale Curran started up front and managed to keep himself in the top 10. A solid drive for Dale Curran, 11th through 20th. Derek Lemaire, after that problem on the opening lap going all the way back, fights himself back to a 12th place finish. Lance Erskine up to the 15th spot. He had some problems early in the race, so had a nice recovery. And we worked down through the field, finishing 21st through 24th. Drivers that had their share of problems. Shane Stickle and Adrian Staley not making it to the end of this race. And it's time to go racing with the Dirt Car Sportsman. And right after this break, we're going to introduce you to the starting lineup.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV. Back live, Humberstone Speedway on GeForce TV, set and ready to go for 50 laps with a Dirt Car Sportsman.
Rolling off from the 24th position in the number 49, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tony Cowell. 23rd, the 62 from Port Colborne, the LeMays meets. TC Deckel's number 62 is John Babillon. Starting 22nd in the number 5S. That's Matt Sharp behind the wheel of the 5S, and to his inside, the 707. Who is not on this roster.
Greg Brinklow.
Greg Brinklow, and I got to remember that. I've done this a couple of times tonight. Next in line on the outside, the number 13M out of Thorold, the Hartzell Home Hardware Performance Heating and Air. Number 13 is Daniel McKay. The number 22 out of Niagara Falls, it's Terry Smith. 74X is Taylor Vanderzanden. The 1F in the United Rentals Dow Auto Supply machine, it's Ryan Ferry. 17C out of St. Catharines, the Barron Roofing Costco Haulage 17C is Jordan Costco. The 3N out of Ridgeway, the Performance Acura Pam's Welding, number 3N, Noah Mamo. Driving the number 7 out of St. Catharines, the Willard Concrete and Trucking PVM Hydraulics 7, it's Cody McPherson. The number 96, Niagara Ice Dogs, Tim Horton sponsored 96 is Luke Carlton. Driving the 8S out of St. Catharines, the Blue Moon Potatoes 8S is Justin Sharp. The 99P out of Port Colborne, the Gaston's Auto Sales, Atkinson Delivery and Bobcat Services 99P, it's Greg Penunte. The 68 out of St. Catharines, the Reed's Haulage 68, it's Curtis Friesen. From Port Colborne, Ontario, the Sterling Lubricant St. Amand Auto number 15 is Adam Leslie. From St. Catharines, Ontario, the Centennial Construction number 74, David Flanagan. And out of St. Catharines, the Kenny Upel Oshwegan Speedway number 20, Jay Mallory. Driving the number 52 from Kingston, the Speedy Auto Service Mobile 152 with Jessica Power. Driving the 108 from Thorold, the Mike Knapp Ford, Rick's Delivery 108, Bill Bleach Jr. Driving the 66P from Ridgeway, the Dandy's Curbs, Atkinson's Delivery 66P, Jeff Penunte. And now your front row on the outside of row number 1 from Fort Erie, the Bellinger Electric Sterling Lubricants 18R, Brad Rouse. And your pole sitter from Niagara on the Lake, the Bobcat of Hamilton Advantage Trailer number 72, James Michael Friesen. Race fans, we're going to take a quick break on G-Force TV. When we come back, it'll be time to go racing for 50 laps with the Dirt Car Sportsman Series event.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back live, Humberstone Speedway on G-Force TV, Zankin Truck and Trailer Night. Want to thank all the folks from Zankin Truck and Trailer. Stan Zankin, sprint car driver of his own, sponsoring tonight's card. We want to thank him for that as we get ready for 50 laps, the Western Region Series event for the Dirt Car Sportsman. One race tonight, one race tomorrow night as well. A busy weekend for these drivers. But it's time to buckle up and get ready to go right here on a racetrack that's changed a lot since qualifying heats, Adam.
It really has, Greg, and it's widened out to the point where they built the cushion back up there. 3 and 4 is just such a nice smooth arc around the top. 1 and 2, you've really got to be careful. You can throw that car into turn number 1 and lean on the cushion on the outside, but you can't really ride it all the way around. We've seen drivers have a bit of a challenge with that throughout the night.
All right, race fans, get on your feet to wave these drivers on. They're going to bring it around here at Humberstone Speedway and salute you, the fans. So get up on your feet, grab whatever you got, wave these drivers on there. 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. These are the Dirt Car Sportsmen.
How much experience is in this front row? James Michael Friesen in the 72, Brad Rouse in the 18. I really do think the field of dirt sportsmen in this area has long been the best there is anywhere in the Northeast United States or into Ontario and Quebec.
Stout through and through. And they're going to go green flag racing next time by. And how about we do a quick fire starter, fire it up to kick off 50 laps for the Dirt Car Sportsman. For those watching at home, they'll get to hear the sounds, see the sights of this race. It looks like we're going to be another lap at least. But for those folks that are here, they get to enjoy all that sound without hearing us, Adam. Let's let the folks at home hear it courtesy of quick fire starter.
White flag now, so next time out of turn number 4 they'll go green. And look at the veterans that they are. James Michael Friesen, Brad Rouse, let the pace truck get way out of our way. We want to be able to control this one. And now the games begin.
Let's fire it up. Quick fire starter. James Michael Friesen jumps out to the early advantage over Brad Rouse. Top three now have broken away with Billy Bleach Jr. in the mix as well, and a big gap back to Jeff Penunte, who's got Jay Mallory and Jessica Power flanking him.
If I remember right, Jay Mallory and Jessica Power had this same battle in their qualifying heat earlier on. They continue side by side. This time for the fifth spot in the feature, we've got one sideways in 3 and 4. Wow, yeah, that was gonna... Jordan Costco gets wrapped up in that, and that was a chain reaction that started up in the front. A car got kicked sideways, and I think it might have been Greg Penunte in the 99P at the front of that. Gathered up a lot of race cars, some of them driving away right now. Luke Carlton was in there, Matt Sharp in the 5, Clinton Jeffrey, what do you see?
Matt Sharp's car looks all right. The 22 looks all right. The one we're looking at is the Costco 17C. It appears to be all right. Luke Carlton is headed back to the pits already. But these other two cars stopped down here on the bottom look to be all right. And they're going to back Jordan Costco up, and he'll be able to roll off.
That's pretty impressive that they're all able to drive away from that. 4 laps complete. James Michael Friesen got out in front. He's going to have to search around the racetrack. The line he was running there, Greg, he's using a fair bit of track, but I can't see them lasting for 50 laps. Is our speed shot going to give us a look? Oh, someone got loose. Might have been Flanagan, got way out of shape in front of Penunte.
And it just trickles down through the field until 4 cars get wrapped up there. Costco's going to turn that machine around.
Race director Doug Leonard saying it should be Cody McPherson in the 7, then the 74 of Flanagan, the 99P of Greg Penunte. Penunte doesn't seem to want to give up that spot. Still doesn't want to give up that spot. But he's going to have to.
All right, there, they get him in order.
You used to see that so often before transponder timing. And to me, it was one of the more annoying things as a part of the race night. But then you think some of them are doing that to pay their bills. That's how they were making a living. Looks like we're going to stay yellow as we had one car duck into the pits. Well, we're hearing debris on the racetrack somewhere. Okay, looking at the screen, that is a sidebar. And not like a sidebar to the story or like you'd see on Law and Order. That's a Nerf bar off of a dirt car Sportsman race car.
Glad there wasn't a Segway laying on the back stretch.
Sidebar, Your Honor.
Noah Mamo.
I see what you did there. It was fairly witty.
You weren't listening.
I always listen.
No, you.
There's the culprit. Right side sidebar. Who's missing one? I'll bet you it's the 7. No, it wouldn't be the 74 Flanagan the way he hit. One of these things is not like the other. Is it 11 o'clock?
We're getting there. About to jump the shark for the night.
James Michael Friesen in the 72. Brad Rouse in the 18. Going to bring us back to green. Billy Bleach in the 108 on the inside of row number 2.
back into the green. JMF will lead them into corner number 1. Bleach in tow. Rouse on the outside line. Top 3 again. Stretch the advantage over Jeff Pinty back here in 4th.
Yeah, Jeff Pinty really closed the door on Jessica Power. She was pretty polite there to back out of that hole, but it's stacked them up behind.
This time it's Bleach running in the 2nd spot as Rouse shuffled back to the 3rd position with JMF out in front. Pinty running 4th and Jay Mallory hanging around the top 5.
Lots of laps still to be run here at Humberstone Speedway. The track is in beautiful condition tonight.
James Michael Friesen using that outside line, pushing the cushion through 3 and 4.
Ooh, big contact between Justin Sharp in the 8S and David Flanagan in the 74. Just a hip check. Coming off of turn number 4, both those cars came together and they are still side by side.
Here comes the battle for 4th as Cody McPherson and the 20 of Jay Mallory working on Jeff Pinty, who held the spot. 3 wide into corner number 3. McPherson on the bottom. Mallory works around the outside line. He'll take the position away from Jeff Pinty. Now Greg Pinty adds his name into the mix.
Greg Pinty heads up to the high side in that 99P. Cody McPherson to the bottom. 3 wide down the backstretch.
McPherson will scoot by Greg Pinty on the outside. That shuffles Jeff Pinty back another spot. And now he'll fall into the grasp of Jessica Power and Adam Leslie. JMF out in front over Bleach and Rouse. Top 3 again separated by a good 15 car lengths back to the 20 of Jay Mallory. And here comes Cody McPherson hooked up on the outside.
Yeah, Cody McPherson starting to get his rhythm going on the high side. 1 and 2, not quite as quick, but 3 and 4, he seems to have figured things out and have a good run through that end of the racetrack.
Jay Mallory tried to hold on, but Cody McPherson works it around the outside, takes that 4th position. Mallory back to 5th, but now Greg Pinty is going to try the same attack on the outside of the 20.
At the front of the field, James Michael Friesen has caught the back part of the field. Noah Mamo, the first car, going to go a lap down in that 3 machine.
Here's the battle between Mallory and Pinty. Mallory down to the inside, Pinty following him down the backstretch. We see Jeff Pinty and Jessica Power. They've been hooked together for most of this race. Now Justin Sharp's into the thick of that one as well. That right now is the battle from 8th on back.
And I think a lack of home track knowledge here is hurting Jessica Power. She's faster than Jeff Pinty, just can't figure out a way to make a move on that 66, and everyone else that gets up to the Pinty machine seems to find a weakness that they can exploit to make their pass.
Now Jessica is going to try and tuck down in. Can't get it done down in corner number 1. She gets stacked up.
Out in the front, James Michael Friesen with a Billy Bleach. Working through lap traffic, so he's had a lap car between himself and Bleach. He passed a car, Bleach passed a car, so they still have a car between the leader and 2nd place running Bill Bleach.
Rouse following Bleach right now through corner number 2. There's the battle back there for 5th and 6th. Mallory still able to hold off Greg Pinty in the number 9, and Greg's tried every lane he can.
This track getting wider and wider as laps go on.
2 caught together up in corner number 2, and it's John Babian and Jordan Costco. And that will put us under the caution flag. 32 laps remaining in this one. And they, I believe, are physically hooked together.
And the modified dirt sportsman style race cars will do that. You quite often see them get hooked together on the track or off the track, wherever they happen to land.
James Michael Friesen, the leader, At that caution flag with Billy Bleach in the second spot, Brad Rouse, Cody McPherson, and Jay Mallory, the top 5.
Sixth through 10th, we've got Greg Penante in the 99P, the 15 of Adam Leslie, the 8S of Justin Sharp, the 68 of Curtis Friesen, and the 74 of David Flanagan. So now we have 2 cars hooked together and 4 people looking. And as is normally the case, you bring in a tow truck, you pick up one of the cars, the other car drives off. Clinton Jeffrey is right on the scene.
Well, there you go, guys. We're giving you a good shot here of the shock tower, and it's hooked right over that kind of the shock slider, they call it. And that's what holds everything in place. And it's the rear bumper of the Costco machine up over the nose of the Babian car here. We're going to take a bit of a hook here to lift it up, guys, and we'll watch as they get these cars separated.
It's like Heavy Rescue 401.
Clint's doing it all. He's got the camera and the microphone. That's not just down over the shock tower like Clint said. It's kind of down there and locked in underneath that top part of the tower.
They'll get the tow truck as close as they can to try to lift straight up, or as straight up as they can, to avoid doing further damage to either one of these race cars. You see the tension pull tight on the cable.
Perfect. Good job.
Just that simple.
That's why we're up here and not down there.
So they'll just take a moment here to get the Costco machine unhooked. The Babian car ready to drive away without issue, guys. So no problems for either of those cars. They'll be able to continue on.
See, if that were you and me, we'd be like, okay, you go forward really fast and you go backwards really fast, and that'll clear it up.
Pretty much. I give up. When's dessert?
No, we said dessert, Spencer, not a break.
What are the... The crew's laying under the 17 of Jordan Costco there. Not sure what the project is. But I have a feeling our chaser vehicle is about to make its way to see what's going on with the Costco 17. He pulls into the pits. You know where they pit, always right next to the pit shack there.
Do you think there's been anyone in Ontario that's been in more racing accident scenes than Clinton Jeffrey in life?
I doubt it. No, he is. He's Johnny on the spot, which is the nickname everyone secretly wants.
Field doubling up. I think they'll see the white flag this time around. Jordan Costco's back out again. John Babian's still out there, so both drivers able to continue on. Great look from overhead. Here at Humberstone Speedway. Glad you could join us here on G-Force TV. Sunset Speedway tomorrow night with the APC Series. These dirt car sportsmen, they'll be at Merrittville Speedway tomorrow night. You can catch that on G-Force Live on Monday, or you can see it in person tomorrow night over at Merrittville, along with the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars. Ready to go back to the green flag. 32 laps left to go.
Oh! Billy Bleach comes across the nose of Brad Rouse in the 18R. He wanted that inside line bad. Brad Rouse trying to get to the bottom into turn number 3, and he will.
Cody McPherson McPherson works the outside and gets by both of them and takes the second spot. Sets his sights on JMF. Rouse, though, not going to go away from the lucky 7.
No, Brad Rouse is in this one to stay. Always quick in these extra distance races. He's working the bottom of the racetrack. Both McPherson and James Michael Friesen in the lead, running a little bit higher through 3 and 4.
Down the backstretch, here comes McPherson trying to get a run on the 72 of Friesen. Friesen goes way outside, just holds it on the thin line.
Yeah, like we said, Friesen sliding that car across the middle of the racetrack to catch the cushion on the way out, where Cody McPherson is running along the guardrail and slowing down enough to keep that car on the bottom. Of course, as I say that, they swap grooves, and Cody runs the outside, Friesen runs the bottom.
Brad Rouse trying to work that outside through 3 and 4. Top 3 again have broken away. Billy Bleach now, as we got a battle for the lead. Here comes McPherson down to the inside of Friesen. They've swapped spots again. Friesen back to the outside. McPherson on the bottom.
Fantastic battle for the lead, and they're pulling away from Brad Rouse, holding on to that third spot. Rouse all by himself, and there's about 20 car lengths back to Billy Bleach, trying to fend off Jay Mallory in the 20.
That's the way it's been tonight. Top 3, no matter who it's been, take over the spot this time. Cody McPherson leads at the line, as Friesen got maybe a little farther in corner 4 than he wanted to go.
McPherson out in front, and that, as much as anything in a dirt race, that allows the second place car to see where the other driver is running. So this might help James Michael Friesen as he gets a handle on where Cody McPherson is making speed.
And 3 and 4 really widening out here in this Dirt Car Sportsman race. Going to set up for a good feature still to come for the 360 sprint cars as the leaders begin to track down slower traffic, and they'll begin to lap cars here soon.
Cody McPherson out in front. Brad Rouse starting to inch his way back towards the leaders. Whoa! Slow car on the back straightaway just in front of the race leader. That could have spelled disaster.
And that car does pull off. Wasn't able to see who it was, but...
Swinson? 707?
Brinklow. Wrong
Brinklow.
division.
Shocking.
Caution.
And it sounds
It's
like...
because that car is still stopped on the back stretch.
Yeah, they're going to need a tow truck back there to clear that car off the racetrack.
And there it is there. Just went by on our screen of the pit exit there.
So we have a group chat that we participate in, Greg. You and I, Spencer, the producer, Clinton, Jeffrey. And Spencer pitched to us a new gadget last week. And to me, it was like a telestrator, right? It does different things, but it's basically so you can highlight things on the screen and draw pictures. And all I could think about was turduckens and what I might draw.
I want this.
I don't know. That, like, you know how they say if you get these powers, are you going to use them for good or for evil?
It won't be for good.
I don't think I could commit to using that tool for good. Like I would draw obscene things on Clinton Jeffrey as he's doing reports. Like I'd give him the Burger King crown one night and maybe the next night draw a KFC bucket of chicken, which we wouldn't do that. We would draw a Pinty's chicken wing on his head.
Order it, Spencer.
Well, I sure hope you guys are saying nice things about me because I'm struggling with my monitor and I keep hearing my name, but I can't hear the rest of the sentences.
It's all good, boss. Don't worry.
Sure it is. But I can watch it on the replay as soon as I get home. Getting ready to go green again. Here we go.
Can you imagine? I would want a camera at Clinton Jeffrey's house to see him watching the replay of what we would draw on it.
Back under the green flag, and here comes Rouse looking for the second spot. He's the inside of Friesen.
Cody McPherson getting the jump on the start. He'll sail it into 3 and 4 on the high side, and now Brad Rouse sort of using the line Cody McPherson used to get himself to the front in the first place.
Pearson out in front of her, Rouse, Friesen, and throughout the night. That fourth place is where the gap's been, and right now it's Billy Bleach and Jay Mallory side by side.
They are 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Billy Bleach carves that car back to the bottom. Everyone gets sorted out 2 wide. Bleach is struggling through the ends, especially on corner entry.
This is the thing I love about dirt racing. They all go into the corners and fan out, and you think, how are they ever going to come back in and fit coming off the corner? And somehow, most of the time, they do.
It's like they race in and out of a funnel every lap.
And for Billy Bleach, he's on the wrong side of that funnel. He's cycling back. He's in behind Justin Sharp now.
Yeah, tough run towards the back for Billy Bleach, who was up in the front in the top 5 for much of this race.
He was part of that original 3-car breakaway in the opening laps of this race, and now Cody McPherson, Brad Rouse, and James Michael Friesen. James is really being the one to push it further and further every time in 3 and 4s. We got one slow. It's Jeff Panante. No, that is Billy Bleach. Sorry.
Yeah, he was struggling with cornering, and now straight off the end of turn number 1, I think Billy Bleach is going to throw in the towel on tonight. Probably focus on what he wants to do for tomorrow night.
Already leaders starting to see some slower cars in front. Daniel McKay in the sights of Cody McPherson, and just watching James Michael Friesen every lap, he pushes it further and farther than the other 2 drivers do.
And it's not really working for him, but it's fun to watch.
Yes.
Battles throughout this field. Curtis Friesen in the red 68, battling with the 8S of Justin Sharp. Right behind them is Ryan Ferry in the 1F. As Sharp bounces that 8 off the cushion, the Blue Moon Potato sponsored number 8, Curtis Friesen, running right around the bottom of the racetrack. Wow, Ryan Ferry to the inside of Friesen.
Put Flanagan to his outside.
Pull out the shoehorn, drive that thing into the corner.
Peter Cody McPherson now is going to start catching a thicker part of traffic. In front of him will be Noah Mamo, John Babian, he continues to put a gap on himself and Brad Rouse.
Daniel McKay in the 13 having some problems there in 3 and 4. That car not wanting to turn for the 13 machine seems to have got it sorted out.
12 laps left to go now for Cody McPherson over Brad Rouse, James Michael Friesen, then a huge gap back to Jay Mallory in 4th, and Adam Leslie now has worked his way into the 5th spot. Good run for Adam.
1 car off the end of the back straightaway. That might be Jeff Panante in the 66P.
The Dandy Curb 66P comes to a stop on the outside of corner number 3 and puts us under the caution flag one more time. 12 laps left to go. Still to come, Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars. Their 25-lap main event. I see the drone headed that way. Will we get a shot maybe of where Jeff Panante is located?
That is just dandy. So the 108 to Bill Bleach, we see a replay of him going off the end of turn number 3. Not sure what went wrong on that race car. He just completely lost the handle as laps went on. And you can see, I think out of frustration, he just sailed it off the end of the front stretch. Now we're going to look at the Jeff Panante 66. It just went straight.
So he'll need a hook on the 66P. Had a pretty solid run going here tonight. See Clint's down there on the back of the tow truck. Right on the scene as always. This is where we need the telestrator. There's Clint, right?
We could put mouse ears on him.
Well, guys, not sure what the problem is here for Panante. Just looked like the steering wheel was jammed up on him. But now he is going to request a hook and get towed back to the pits.
Yeah, that car just going straight off the end of turns 3 and 4. He'd been driving it hard. He held off Jessica Power for a lot of that race. That was fun to watch. The last restart, she had finally gotten around him.
McPherson, Rouse, and Friesen, the top three. Here's the replay again. Just see Pinty sail it off of corner number 3. And puts us under the caution with 12 laps left to go. One race remaining after this one. That's a pretty quick tow down the front stretch.
No kidding.
Hold on. Don't drop the camera, please.
I'm watching for flying Krutchkas.
See, I don't think a telestrator can make us any less unprofessional than we already are.
That was a double negative, Greg.
I'm more unprofessional. Sorry. See what I mean?
You know, it's one of those careful what you wish for. I don't want to be the most polished person there is.
There's no fear of that.
I want to be the one you think, what the heck is he going to say next?
Yeah, but your partner shouldn't be the one thinking it.
I think that's where the fun lies.
I've learned to love it. Cody McPherson again. Oh, stretches his advantage over Rouse in that second spot. Friesen in third. Now, can Adam Leslie and Jay Mallory keep pace with the top three? No one else has been able to do it. And I'll tell you what, Adam Leslie's had a good solid march through the field.
Yeah, slowly picking off cars. I mean, there's 11 laps to go in this 50-lapper, and he's picked up a car or two every restart. He's going to work his way up into the 4th spot. Mallory tries to fight back, but you can see his entry into 3 and 4 just a little bit awkward there. Adam Leslie going to take that spot. Try to close in on James Michael Friesen running in the 3rd spot, and that's 72.
McPherson sails it through corner number 3, up against the cushion there as he'll roll it off of corner number 4. Rouse and Friesen right there. Leslie, a bit of a gap back to 5th place. Jay Mallory.
Mallory just out ahead of Greg Pinty in the 99P, doing battle with Justin Sharp. Side by side, Sharp on the inside in that number 8 machine.
Lots of battles throughout the pack, watching Greg Pinty and Justin Sharp. Pinty's had an eventful night, to say the least. Heavy damage on the right side door of that 99P. Gaston Auto Sales ride.
Yeah, that mishap earlier on, it didn't seem to slow him down at all, but put a big old divot in the right side door of that race car.
It's time by 6 laps left to go for Cody McPherson, and boy, he is checking out. That car hooked up tonight, and it was right off the drop of the green. To see him pull away from Brad Rouse, you know you got a fast car that night.
Yeah, not something that happens very often for anybody. Cody McPherson's getting it done, more than half a straightaway out ahead as he pitches that car into 3 and 4, just sets the right rear on that tacky clay up on the outside and keeps it there all the way around the corners.
4 laps to go. This time by for Cody McPherson in the lucky 7. Starting to hit some lap traffic, but he's going to have some big problems for Brad Rouse to catch him at this point. Rouse solidly in 2nd. Gap back to Friesen and another gap back to Leslie. Things spreading out now amongst the top 10.
Curtis Friesen in that red 68 is really having problems through the middle of the corner. That car just won't turn in 3 and 4 the last couple of laps. It's really bottled up the cars around it.
It should be 2 laps left to go for Cody McPherson. Works it off of corner number 4 with Noah Mamo directly in front of him. 2 more circuits here in this first 50-lap Dirt Car Sportsman race of the weekend here in the Niagara region.
Deep in the field, Luke Carlton in that 96 car running just outside of the top 10. He and Jessica Power made hard contact out of turn number 4 about 5 laps ago. We'll see if Jessica Power wants to retaliate here as she starts to close in on the 96 with 1 lap to go.
Final time down the backstretch for Cody McPherson. He'll sail it into corner number 3. Brad Rouse has closed the gap a little bit, but it'll run out of time. Checkers out. Cody McPherson gets the win. Brad Rouse 2nd. James Michael Friesen 3rd. 4th goes to Adam Leslie, and 5th, Greg Pinty. G. Mallory 6th. Justin Sharp 7th. 8th, Ryan Ferry. Good solid run for him. David Flanagan up in 9th. And Taylor Vanderzanden comes from near the back up to 10th, so good run for him.
Very solid run. Then 11th looks like Luke Carlton, Jessica Power in 12th. Let's see the full field rundown as our race winner, Cody McPherson, heads over to the scales to make it official. Again, we just took you through the top 10. David Flanagan with a solid finish as both the 74s finished 9th and 10th, 11th through 20th. It's where you see Luke Carlton and Jessica Power. They had that fantastic battle at the end there. Jordan Costco rebounds to a 14th place finish. Terry Smith 15th. Curtis Friesen dropped through the field late in that one. He finishes 16th. John Babbion 17th. Daniel McKay, Noah Mamo, and Jeff Penante round out the top 20. Then 21st was Billy Bleach Jr., 22nd Greg Brinklow, and 23rd rounding out the field was Tony Cowell. Cody McPherson clears the scales and heads over towards Victory Lane, where Clinton Jeffrey has crossed through the fence at the front straightaway. He will be there to greet him. It's been a fantastic season for Cody McPherson in that number 7.
Yeah, he's on his way down here to the new Victory Lane here, the Pete Costco Memorial Victory Lane. Don't forget, we still have one 360 sprint car feature to go, 25 laps to go. You're not going to want to miss this one. We've seen some amazing battles this season so far. And we're going to talk to Cody McPherson here, and then we'll get these sprint cars fired right up. Cody McPherson pulls it down here into Victory Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, he was here a couple weeks ago, pulls it back in again. Won the Pete Costco Memorial. Crew already in here to greet Cody, and we'll get him out. He'll get a quick drink of Gatorade, and we'll bring him here to the roof to greet you fine fans here tonight. Another solid run for Cody McPherson. He gets the 50-lap Dirt Car Sportsman Tour event. How about it for Cody McPherson, ladies and gentlemen? Cody, poor Adeline thought she was in trouble when you pulled that number, but a solid drive tonight. You know, you just seem to know your way around here, Humberstone, since day one in your sportsman career. In these big races, you just seem to get it done, man.
Yeah, you know, I don't know why. I just felt really confident tonight. And even when she drew 12, I told Brandon, don't worry about it. If you got a good enough car to win with 50 laps, you can do it. And it actually kind of helped because James wasn't sure where to run. Same with Brad. And I knew how quick the bottom was in 1 and 2 and how quick it was on top 3 and 4. So I knew once I passed those guys, I had to make sure I cleared them so I didn't show them the line. And yeah, it just worked out.
This new car has been dynamite for you this year. You got to be super happy with how this season played out for you.
Yeah, you know, I drove over to my buddy Matt Williamson before the season even started, and we scaled it. And to be honest, I haven't touched a thing. And I'm able just to bury this car into 1 and 2, and it stops on a dime. And we had a nice big cushion tonight in 3 and 4. So yeah, it was just good.
Good job. Cody McPherson gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Cody McPherson? We'll send it up to Greg and Adam as we get ready to go with the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car feature.
Well, just before they take the green flag, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll give you the starting lineup as we get set for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series here on G-Force TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back live to Zankin Truck and Trailer Night here at Humberstone Speedway on G-Force TV. There you see the stars and cars of the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series ready to get pushed off and go for their 25-lap main event so far this year. We've had 3 different winners. Jim Hoopinen with a couple, DJ Christie with a couple of wins, and Jordan Poirier have all found victory lane here in 2021. Will we see a new face or a familiar face in victory lane? We'll find out here in 25 laps. Our final race of the night here at Humberstone Speedway. 19 cars ready to get pushed off. Cody McPherson will clear victory lane. And here is your starting grid for tonight's main event. Starting from the pole, out of Picton in the Terry's Taxi, Elbrook Excavating 84, it's Tyler Rand. Alongside of him, starting in second out of Beachville, the Castrol Edge, DeGroot Hill Chevrolet, number 5, DJ Christie. Going from third from St. Matthew de Belleville, Quebec, in the Four Seasons Forming, Mega Pumping 28, Jordan Poirier. Alongside him from fourth, out of Niagara Falls, Ontario, the Signal 88 Security EMS Towing number 70 of Bailey Hurd. Going fifth out of Dunnville, the Kingpin Farms, Burger Barn number 91, Ryan Turner. And outside of him from the sixth starting position, from Beamsville in the J&E Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax 88H is Josh Hansen. Rolling off seventh out of Scotland, Ontario, the Instapanel Styes Tree Service 87X, Sean Evans. And to his outside, from Fenwick, Ontario, in the Oshwegan Speedway Racehorse, Enrium Dynamics 14H, the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen. Starting in ninth out of Tilsonburg in the Petro Plus Travel Stop, Burger Barn number 13, Corey Turner. And going from 10th from Binbrook in the Nitro 54 Variety, Creative Edge Signs and Graphics, car number 9 is Liam Martin. Rolling off 11th from Charing Cross, the ERW Contracting, Casey Cuts, 9B, Scott Burke. And to his outside, starting in 12th from Hamilton, the Instant Insulation, Best Way Betting 01, Mikey Krutchka. Going from 13th out of Caister Center in the Charlie B. Honey Mudcat Entertainment Center 11, it's Jamie Turner. And on his outside, starting 14th from Picton in the Jones Automotive CarQuest 11J, Chris Jones. Going from 15th out of Dorchester in the Malcolm Mills Mill Riding Oshwegan Speedway, car number 1 is Holly Porter. And to her outside, starting in 16th out of Grimsby in the Bones Automotive Image Factor number 90, Travis Cunningham. Starting 17th out of St. Catharines in the Jason's Enterprise, Bodyline Auto Recyclers 46, Kevin Pauls. And going 18th from Oshwegan, the OSR Oshwegan Speedway 0, the Oshwegan Flyer, Glenn Stiers. And rolling off from 19th out of Oshwegan, the Nitro 54 Variety, Creative Edge Signs and Graphics, car number 15, Dan Nanico. 19 drivers ready to go 25 laps for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. Again, want to thank Zankin Truck and Trailer for sponsoring tonight's race card here at Humberstone Speedway. Stan Zankin, longtime sprint car racer here in Southern Ontario.
The field taking shape behind the Humberstone Speedway pace truck. Again, the mixture of youthful energy out here and savvy veterans is something to behold. DJ Christie, a youngster on the outside of the front row. Right behind him, another one, Bailey Hurd, young driver from Niagara Falls. Josh Hansen, another young driver on the outside row. Seems to be the row of the youngins until you get back to Jim Hoopinen. Hoopinen is the exception in that 14, and then you go back to youth with Liam Martin right behind him in that number 9.
White flag is out. Tyler Rand, DJ Christie will bring them to the green flag. Pace truck pulls off on the back stretch. 25 laps for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars. Will we see another face in victory lane and a new sword handed out to a new driver? We'll find out here in 25 laps. Let's bring him to the green flag.
Field rumbles down into turn number 1. A good clean start so far. Out in front is Tyler Rand, but DJ Christie sails it into the high side in 3 and 4. He'll look for the lead off the corner.
And he'll rip it across the line as the leader down into corner number 1. Rand in second, Poirier and Hurd right there running third and fourth. As they go down the backstretch, Bailey Hurd lost traction. He still holds on to the 5th spot, though, as he slipped off the banking.
Ryan Turner in that Kingpin number 91. He's shown quite a bit of speed tonight every time he's been on the racetrack. Sitting there in the 4th spot. Watching that lead trio just in front of him. Not falling too far behind as Jordan Poirier takes up the 2nd position in that number 28. Bailey Hurd again goes off the outside, this time in turn number 3.
I don't know how he saved that and kept it going, and he's only lost a couple of spots in that exchange. Now here comes Corey Turner to his inside. But a wild couple of laps for Bailey Hurd in the 70.
Slide job, Jordan Poirier for the lead up in front of DJ Christie.
Wow, what a move there by Jordan Poirier. Leads the points coming into tonight, now stretches his advantage on DJ Christie. Tyler Rand holding on to the 3rd spot right now with Ryan Turner in tow and Josh Hansen in the top 5.
Further back through the field, Bailey Hurd is settled in just in front of Mikey Krutchka in the 0-1. Liam Martin in that number 9. But out in front, it is all Jordan Poirier, DJ Christie trying to find a line that 5 machine likes. He just hasn't found one that can run the same pace as Jordan Poirier in the 28.
Deep in the pack, Holly Porter took it off the corner 2 banking and had to climb back up onto the track. She finds herself now back in the 18th spot.
You know, as we say that about Jordan Poirier having all that speed, he just jumped the cushion in turn 4. Just about disastrous for that 28 as he puts Pauls a lap down.
This track can come up and bite you if you're playing around the outside line. Even in the old configuration, it had a tendency to do that. Now Poirier had a little bit of a problem getting into corner 1. He'll get it straightened and pull away down the backstretch. But this track, maybe more than some, can really do some bad things to you.
Works to the outside of Holly Porter to put her a lap down. He's now got a full straightaway lead over DJ Christie in 2nd.
Right in front of the leader.
Yellow flag flies.
Scott Burke goes around. Puts us back into the caution. 16 laps to go. Right in front of leader Jordan Poirier.
Laps click off in a hurry. Man, oh man. Jordan Poirier battles his way to the front of this one. Got around DJ Christie, immediately pulled away. Still curious to see what Ryan Turner's got in that 91 machine. Can he battle with Jordan Poirier?
Fantastic racing surface tonight, and if maybe we can get Clint in on this and just to talk about that. Throughout the night, fantastic racing. Adam, you asked me at the top of the night what I noticed and in the change in the track. I said it raced different. Maybe I'm crazy, but we know that. It just seems faster. I don't know if the lap times are any quicker or not from years gone by, but the action just seems quicker and faster, and beautiful track conditions are helping play into that.
A fast lap here at Humberstone Speedway used to look very choppy to me.
Yeah.
With the tires on the inside, the line wasn't a smooth arc around the corner, and you'd manipulate the car in funny ways to go fast. Here, you're seeing them run a really smooth line around the corners. Definitely the track is narrower than it used to be, but I think it's equalized. You don't need as much room when the shape of the track is the same every lap.
Yeah.
The drivers know where they need to be.
Jordan Poirier DJ Christie and Ryan Turner, the top three, coming back to the green flag. Tyler Rand having a great run up there in that 4th position. Josh Hansen sitting in 5th. 6th right now, Sean Evans. 7th, Corey Turner. 8th, Jim Hoopinen. 9th, Mikey Krutchka. And Liam Martin back there in the 10th spot. And if you're Jim Hoopinen, if you want to stay in the thick of the points chase, you need to get on the horse now and get towards the front, because the guy leading the points is a fair bit ahead of him right now.
Yeah, and you're running out of races.
Yeah.
You know, you can give up a spot here or there, but you can't give up 8 or 9 spots the way he is right now to the points leader, Jordan Poirier. And there's no reason to believe Jordan Poirier is going to give up too many of those spots up at the front.
Wow, that was a different start there between the top two as Jordan Poirier cut it down to the inside. The result's the same. Poirier pulling away from DJ Christie, who's under fire now from Ryan Turner.
A little further back, Sean Evans is really having a hard time getting that car to turn down in 1 and 2 as Josh Hansen just about ran over the backer, Tyler Rand.
Here comes Ryan Turner again, trying to work to the inside of DJ Christie.
Down through 3 and 4, he'll pedal that car along the guardrail on the inside. DJ Christie up on the high side, leaning on that cushion on the outside.
Oh, Liam Martin, he has had fits with corner 4 here tonight. That car's got a ton of bite, trying to keep the nose planted has been a handful.
New second place driver Ryan Turner moves up to second with a slide job. Christie tried to cross him over, just couldn't get the bite. Can Ryan Turner close in on Jordan Poirier as the laps wind down?
Poirier through 3 and 4. Ryan Turner giving chase. DJ Christie in 3rd and Tyler Rand 4th. Josh Hansen in 5th.
Halfway through, 13 laps down, 12 laps to go.
Leader works to the inside off of corner number 4. Ryan Turner running the opposite line. He's right on the outside trying to get all that he can, and it's the same path all the way back to Mikey Krutchka, who's right now running in 7th. He's down to the inside line.
Poirier goes into 3 and 4 on the bottom, lets the car drift up the track. Problem, Paul's in that 46, and that will bring out the yellow.
So 10 laps to go still in this one. Back under the caution flag for Kevin Pauls, who had issues up in corner number 4, puts us under the caution flag. He slowed, tried to get out of the way as best he could on the outside line, and now we'll take it to the pit area in the Jason Enterprises body line number 46.
And now we will see how Ryan Turner can stack up against Jordan Poirier. Turner looking for his first win of the season. Jordan Poirier looking for the full handful. Will this be win number 5 if he can hang on?
I do believe so.
Greg dives into the record books.
That is correct. He won the first 4.
And he hasn't won in a while.
Not since August 6th.
We've had 8 races. He won the first 4. Shut out of the next 4. But even when he hasn't won, he's had great results. So, fantastic point season for Jordan Poirier.
Back to the green flag again. Poirier just tucks it right down to the guardrail coming off of corner number 4. Ryan Turner really throws it into corner 1, throwing all he has at it.
He really pitches the car on the front straightaway. He arcs that car, gets it cranked sideways, goes straight into turn number 1, gets a good drive. He loses about 10 car lengths to the race leader in that opening lap. We'll see if he's able to close that distance. Poirier really getting a good bite up and off the corner.
Really impressed with Tyler Rand tonight up there, still in the top 5, running in 4th, putting some pressure on DJ Christie. They work it off the corner. Christie holding down 3rd. Now he opens up the outside door for Josh Hansen to take 4th.
Liam Martin just threw a nasty slider on Bailey Hurd down in 3 and 4.
Off the corner we come. 8 laps to go this time of the line. Ryan Turner chasing down Jordan Poirier. DJ Christie, Josh Hansen, and Tyler Rand, the top 5.
Jim Hoopinen starting to make some moves. He tried to sweep to the outside of Mikey Krutchka, and he lost grip there. Both Jordan Poirier, our leader, and Ryan Turner kind of missed the cushion in turn 4 that time.
Poirier beginning to catch the back of the field, and this time by 6 laps left to go, so it still could play a factor in this one. Holly Porter, Chris Jones, Dan Anacoke, all strong cars as one goes sideways off of corner number 4. That was Tyler Rand that went off track.
Tyler Rand gets up over the cushion, bouncing around. Loses a lot of ground. A couple of spots there. Mikey Krutchka got by. Corey Turner got by.
Krutchka now up to the 4th spot as leader. Jordan Poirier has caught Holly Porter down in 3 and 4. Ryan Turner trying to give chase. DJ Christie back there holding on to 3rd.
Looks like Jordan Poirier surprised Chris Jones there driving to the inside down in 1 and 2. He's got a couple of lap cars now between himself and Ryan Turner in the 2nd spot as the laps continue to wind down here.
Leader down to the inside of Dan Anacoke through 1 and 2. He'll work it off the back stretch. Still a good size advantage over Ryan Turner, and still got some good cars right in front. Glenn Stiers, Bailey Hurd. This time by, it's 2 laps left to go.
2 laps remain. Jordan Poirier trying to get around the 0 of Glenn Stiers down in turn number 3. He will.
Final time by the stand. White flag is out as Jordan Poirier will work it down the backstretch. Sprints by Bailey Hurd looking for win. Number 5, Ryan Turner giving chase but runs out of real estate. Liam Martin off of 4, and Poirier will get the win. Ryan Turner at the line will grab 2nd, and 3rd, Josh Hansen just narrowly edges out DJ Christie. And Mikey Krutchka will come home in 5th. Corey Turner crosses the line in 6th. 7th, Tyler Rand. 8th, Sean Evans. 9th, Jim Hoopinen. And 10th goes to Travis Cunningham.
Whew. What a night of racing that was. Great action here at Humberstone Speedway. Jordan Poirier will head to the scales to make sure he makes minimum weight. No, he won't. He's going to bring it straight down to victory lane.
Jordan Poirier picks up his 5th win of the year, his 1st win in over a month, and will pad his points lead heading into tomorrow night at Merrittville Speedway. He'll get the push down into Pete Costco victory lane here at Humberstone Speedway. Don't forget, we'll be back on the air tomorrow night from Sunset Speedway with the APC Series, round number 7 of 8. On the blacktop, Merrittville Speedway will have their 50-lap dirt car sportsman event tomorrow night, along with these same Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars. And that will be available on G4's Light on Monday night. Jordan Poirier gets the push down in front of the fans here and down to victory lane. Fantastic racing tonight, Adam. This track was super.
Lots of action. Anytime it leads to slide jobs in a sprint car, I am all in. And here he is, folks. Jordan Poirier gets wheeled down into victory lane. Clinton Jeffrey standing by, the photographer standing by. This is old hat to Jordan Poirier. A full handful of Pinty's Knights of Thunder trophies, and they are unique to say the least.
You see Jordan hanging up the one-way radio. He'll get the glasses on and climb out here. Drove probably 8 to 9 hours to be here for you fans. Let him know you appreciate it all the way from Quebec. The point leader coming into tonight picks up his 5th Knights of Thunder Sword of the Year for Jordan Poirier. Jordan, it's been a heck of a season for you to start things off nice, but then Hoopinen and the guys started putting it back on you. DJ Christie grabbed a couple, Hoopinen grabbed a couple. How's it feel to grab sword number 5 and get back on top?
It's good to be back in victory lane. I love Humberstone. I won't hide it to nobody. We've been good here. We've been working all week long with my dad, with my uncle to figure the setup. We were really good. We were run really good at Brighton, so we tried something else tonight. It was really good. The track was in excellent condition. We could pass lap car, go on inside, outside. That was really fun. It was difficult to be up front that early in the race. I didn't know where to run. I felt like I was good, but not crazy good. So I was venturing out in lap cars. I didn't want to let the bottom. So yeah, it feels really good to be back in victory lane.
Great drive, Jordan. Good luck tomorrow. Maryville, you try and make it 2 on the weekend.
Yes, thank you. And thanks to everybody that came with me, my sponsors, Steve, my dad, my mom, everybody back home watching the race. It's pretty awesome, the support we have this year.
There you have it. Jordan Poirier, the point leader, comes in. He'll leave with the point leader. Going to drive for another one tomorrow night at Maryville, guys. Give us a full field rundown and take us home, Adam and Greg.
Thanks very much, Clint. Excellent job, as always, down trackside with us tonight. And there you see Jordan Poirier picking up another one of those swords here with the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars. Ryan Turner, Josh Hansen, DJ Christie, and Mikey Krutchka up to the 5th spot. Corey Turner, Tyler Rand, Sean Evans, Jim Hoopinen, and Travis Cunningham, 6 through 10. Bailey Hurd had a good start. He ends up back there in 13th behind Jamie Turner and Liam Martin. Glenn Stiers, Dan Anico complete the top 15. Then it was Chris Jones, Holly Porter, Kevin Poles, and Scott Burke. Rounding out the order for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars. Again, they're back in action tomorrow night at Merrittville Speedway. And make sure you tune in G-Force TV tomorrow night from Sunset Speedway for the APC Series round number 7. Excellent night of racing, Adam, and can't ask for more than what we saw here tonight.
Good time was had by all, Greg. A great show tonight. Good for Terry Vince and Humberstone Speedway. Even better for the fans.
Exactly. Well, thank you to all of our crew. They do such a great job each and every event that we go to. They make us look good, and they do all the hard grunt work. So thank you to our camera crew, our production crew, and Clint and Jeffrey down trackside. On behalf of Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kellman saying so long. See you next time right here on G-Force TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.